Mr. Hitler, if you think we're on the run. We are the boys who will stop your little game. We are the boys who will make you think again. 'Cause who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done? Mr. Brown goes off to town on the A21, but he comes home each evening and he's ready with his gun. So who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done?
Well, half excited. I was so excited at tea, I could hardly eat a thing. Mum was ever so surprised when I told her I was going to be a film star.
Rubbish. Rubbish.
I think I'll play my part like Ronald Coleman. In that film, Under Two Flags. I might even grow a moustache.
For goodness sake, son. Had your wished. This film is never going to be shown in any cinema. It's just a cheap training film made for the Home Guard.
Well, when we was in the Sudan, fighting the Fuzzy Wuzzy, we never had no film.
Surely they weren't invented then?
No, that's why we never had no film.
Men of the Home Guard, we are facing a cunning and ruthless enemy. Men of the Home Guard. Wonder which is my best side. Perhaps it's better with the hat on. Oh, no, perhaps not.
Sir?
Wilson. Wilson, which would you say was my best side?
Perhaps you just haven't got a best side, sir.
Really?
Well, what I'm trying to say, sir, is that one side is no better than the other. I mean, sorry, no worse than the other. I mean, they're both just the same.
Yes, all right.
Well, anyway, I wouldn't worry, sir, if I were you. I mean, I'm told they can do absolute wonders with makeup.
Lipstick? Powder?
Yes. That sort of thing, yes, sort of.
I'm not having that muck on my face.
Well, you know, it does accentuate one's good points, and in your case, it might help you, you know, to bring out the firm, craggy line of your jaw.
Really think so?
Yes.
Craggy, eh?
You might also, you know, be able to get rid of your double chin.
Now, here, Wilson. They want men on this film. Not a lot of painted Nancy boys.
Yes, I know, sir, I know, but I can't understand why they're not using, you know, proper actors. I mean, Jack Buchanan would take my part awfully well.
You rather fancy you look like Jack Buchanan, don't you?
Well, somebody once said, you know, years ago it was, of course, but...
There is not the slightest resemblance, believe me, in either speech or appearance. Come in. Yes, what is it, Pike?
The Colonel's here with the film people.
Ah, good.
Hey, you know, he doesn't look like a film producer at all. I thought he'd be wearing one of those riding breeches and having a whip like Eric von Stroheim.
You're stupid. What's the matter with your eyes?
Nothing.
Got a dirty mark on your upper lip. Wipe it off. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mannering.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yes?
While you were out and in your absence, I took the liberty of falling in the platoon for inspection by the Colonel and the film people.
Yes, thank you, Jones.
Yes, sir. You don't mind, sir, you did want them to be looked at by the film people?
Yes, I did, Jones, thank you.
The platoon do look all right to be looked at by the film people, don't they, sir?
Yes, all right. Just as long as they get an all-round picture of the platoon.
Very good, sir, very good, sir. Platoon, up out, head! Up out, head! Up out, head!
What are you doing?
Well, you said you wanted an all-round picture, sir.
Oh, really, Jack. Platoon, about turn. Very keen, sir, very keen. Fall in, Pike.
Sorry.
Now, Mannering, this is the production assistant from the Crown Film Unit, Mr. Forster.
Hello, Squire. I'd like you to meet our costume lady, Mrs. Bill.
Hello, dear. Just call me Queenie.
This is Sergeant Wilson.
How awfully nice to meet you.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Well, I don't understand this at all, sir. Why do we want costumes? I mean, we've got our own uniforms.
Well, Mannering, your chaps won't be Home Guards. They're playing the Nazis.
Nazis? I'm not having my men blazoned across the screen in German uniforms.
Well, it's nothing to worry about, Squire. All your stuff is in what we call long shot, in the distance.
In the distance?
Yeah. On the screen, you won't be much bigger than that.
They are, sir. You needn't have worried about the makeup after all.
Is that all we have to do?
Yeah, that's all, Squire.
Yes, the rest of the film's being made at the Gaumont British Studios. The captain and the sergeant are being played by actors who gave their services free. As a matter of fact, Jack Halbert's playing the captain and Jack Buchanan the sergeant.
Fancy that. Jack Buchanan playing the sergeant. Goodness me.
Oh, yes, I measured him for his uniform yesterday.
Did you?
Lovely bloke he
Yes?
is. Just like you, Sarge. You're a dead ringer for him.
Yes?
Who are we going to have for the officer?
I shall be the officer, of course.
Oh, I'm sure Captain Mannering will make an excellent German officer.
Couldn't he make a worse mess of it than he does as a British officer?
Run your tape over him, Queenie.
Yeah, all right. Get your arms up, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, I say.
Ridiculous.
Oh, I couldn't do him.
Out of the question.
Oh, I just couldn't do him, dear. Look at those feet. I've never seen such tiny feet. I ain't got no jack boots that size. Tiny? He's got girls' feet.
Well, sure, couldn't you have a uniform made for me?
We couldn't even get one made for Conrad White. There's a war on, you know.
Oh, sorry, Squire. It's like this, you see. We've only got 2 officers' uniforms, and it's a question of getting the men to fit the uniforms. Have a look round, Queenie.
Yeah, all right.
Can I have a word with you, sir?
Yes, certainly, Mannering.
Now, look here, sir. I refuse to have anything further to do with this film.
Now, don't be difficult, Mannering. Your men are playing the Nazis, and that's an order. However, I respect your feelings, so you needn't take any part in it. Just stand on the touchline and look after your men.
Thank you, sir.
I got you 2 officers, dear. This one and this one. Oh, he's enough like Jack Buchanan and me. He'll make a lovely officer. Now, who's going to be the sergeant? Come on, sonny boy, get your arms up.
You ought to be in pictures. You're wonderful to see. You ought to be in pictures. How beautiful.
You know, I feel a right soppy twirrup wearing this ridiculous get-up. And you notice, Mannering got out of it just because he couldn't be an officer. The big Jesse. Why shouldn't he look a fool like all the rest of us?
Mr. Fraser, I don't think you look a fool. I think that helmet makes you look like an eagle.
Rubbish! Rubbish!
General Kitchener'd turn in his grave if he could see me in this uniform. He couldn't abide German uniforms, you know. Hun helmets look like saucepans, he used to say. I'll never forget the day they brought a German prisoner to him, and this German, he started grovelling before him. He said, "How dare you grovel before me with that saucepan on your head?" "Take it off, my man," he ejaculated. And the German, he said, "Nein, nein, mein General, I cannot. It is stuck." "Well," said the General in a jocular frame of mind, "if that saucepan is stuck on your head, you better go and boil your head." He was a very witty man sometimes, you know.
masters now, eh? You have just 5 seconds to tell us your plans, or else it is kaput. I like being an officer, don't you, Uncle?
These uniforms are awfully smart, aren't they? They really do something for one, don't you think?
I think we ought to strut and swagger.
What?
Come on, let's practice strutting and swaggering.
Oh, yeah, that's all good, Frank. Very good indeed.
Come on, you strut and swagger, come
Well, no,
on.
I don't think I was, Matt. I'm not awfully good at sort of strutting and swaggering, you know.
Could do a goose step.
What? A goose step?
Go on, do a goose step.
What, like? Oh.
He's very good, no, Mannering?
I sometimes wonder where your loyalties lie.
Really, sir. I mean, these uniforms are so smart, don't you think? I mean, they suit any figure.
The sooner this film nonsense is over, the better. Go and fall the men in.
All right, sir. All right, fall in, will you? Fall in, please. Be right. As good as you can, fellas. Right, good.
Now, but... Fall in, Pike. Do you hear what I said? Fall in.
I'm an officer. I'm not going to fall in with all the other privates. Officers should be treated with respect no matter what their nationality. Says so in the Geneva Convention.
If you don't stop fooling about, I shall send you home. Fall in. Now, pay attention.
For Mr. Speaker, I should like to unvolunteer to be a German sergeant. I've wanted all my life to have these 2 extra stripes, but this is too high a price to pay.
And I think it's all wrong I should have to wear this ridiculous helmet.
I appreciate your feelings, but we're under orders to take part in this film, so we've just got to get on with it.
Excuse me, sir. My uniform has got Berman written on it. I do hope it's been cleaned. You never know where these Germans have been.
I shouldn't worry too much, Godfrey. They're not real uniforms, you know. They're theatrical costumes.
Miss Mannering, how will people know that we're home guards dressed as Nazis and not real ones?
Ah, that's a very good point, Pike. Now, the Colonel has given me instructions for absolute security. No one must see you. So you'll stay inside the van, and I will drive you there and back. You can come out now. It's all clear.
What? What? Double move?
Now take that stupid thing out of your eye.
Sir? I'm quite sure we're in the right place.
Of course I'm sure, Wilson.
Well, it's awfully deserted. Oughtn't there to be lots of lights and cameras and things like that?
Oh, these film people are always late. Most unreliable. Spend most of their time lounging about drinking cocktails. Corporal Jones!
Yes, sir.
The men can eat their sandwiches.
Right. Do as the officer says. Eat your sandwiches.
Uncle Arthur, don't think we ought to eat our sandwiches with the other men.
Why not?
Well, we're officers, aren't we? If you I go off by ourselves and eat them on our own.
Oh, don't be absurd, Frank.
Hello, Squire. Sorry about this, but the film has been postponed till next week.
Postponed?
Yeah, spot a bobble with Jack and Sis.
Jack and Sis?
Jack Hubbard and Cicely Courtnidge.
Yeah, they're doing a show next week, so we're filming all Jack stuff this week.
Do you mean to say we've been shut in that van on a hot day like this, wearing these stupid clothes, and a couple of bloomin' actors decide there's no coming?
All right, Fraser.
I'm sorry about this, Squire, but Jack insists on being with Sis, and Sis insists on being with Jack. Well, they're always together.
Yes, they're inseparable. I was reading a newspaper only last week. They're the happiest couple in show business.
Yeah, I read that too, Mr. Godfrey. Jack's the boy, eh? Oh, the flies crawl up the window. They've nothing else to do. They go up
Be
in...
quiet, Jones. Do you realize that we are fighting a war upon which the whole of civilization depends? That at this moment, The entire might of the German army is poised across the Channel, ready to strike. And you drag us, frontline troops, about a fool's errand like this, just because Sis insists.
I'm sorry, Squire. Must kink the stars at me, you know. I'll see you next week, eh? This is outrageous, Wilson. I shall phone GHQ at once.
What a pity we can't do any shooting.
Shooting?
Yes, exactly. Shooting. It's a sort of technical term for filming.
Get back on the van, Wilson.
You ought to be in pictures. You're wonderful to see. You ought to be in pictures. How beautiful you would be. Your voice would sing. Your face would be the voice. You make a great sensation. You ought to shine as brightly as Jupiter and Mars. You ought to be in pictures, my star of stars.
Now listen, Wilson. I'm going across to that phone box to ring GHQ. Whatever you do, don't get out of the van. I don't want anybody to see you in these uniforms.
It's like an oven in here, you know.
Mr. Godfrey's looking a bit pale, sir. He must have some fresh air.
Well, open the back door a few inches and push his face against the crack. I won't be long.
How's that, Mr. Godfrey?
A little better, I think. Thank you. Hey, what about me? I want some fresh air as well, you know.
We can't have any. Didn't you hear what Captain Manning said? No one's got to see us in these uniforms.
Rubbish!
How dare you, Fraser, disobey Captain Manning's orders? You've exposed us to the whole world.
Uncle Arthur?
Yeah?
That pub did not look nice. I'm ever so thirsty, I couldn't half do with the drink.
Yes, so could I. But Captain Mannering said that nobody was to leave the van.
Well, he's only a Home Guard officer. We're officers of the Germans.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I suppose we are.
Come on, then. Let's go and have a drink. No one will see us. Come on.
Come on.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Arthur. There's nobody here.
All right, good, good.
Here, we shouldn't do this, Sergeant Wilson.
Well, what are you going to have?
A pint.
Right. Have a quick drink, and then we can get back on the van. Mannering will be on the phone for ages.
Right, I'll order the drink.
All right, you do that.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
What can I get?
Good afternoon, mein horse. 16 shandies with the ginger beer.
Ginger, pints or halves?
Pence.
The ginger beer.
Frank, do stop playing the fool. I'm very tired and I'm very thirsty.
Doris.
Yes, Mr. Palethorpe?
Here, Doris. I've got 16 Nazis out there in the bar, and they want 16 shandies. Ginger beer.
Well, it's a hot day. They're probably thirsty.
Oh, yes, I never thought of that. What are you talking about? Did you hear what I said? There's 16 Nazi paratroopers in the bar.
Don't be daft.
Well, look for yourself, girl.
Oh.
Careful.
They're not Nazis. They're a lot of old men.
Well, of course, they're disguised as old men, so as they won't look like Nazis.
Well, if they don't want to look like Nazis, why are they wearing Nazi uniforms?
What are you talking about? Get out in the village quick. Now tell the police and rouse the village. And don't make a noise. Go on out now. Don't stand. Shh. Don't stand down. Well, nice bit of weather you brought with you, gentlemen.
Wilson! Jones! I thought so. Wilson! What are you playing at?
Terribly sorry, sir, but we all felt rather thirsty, so we thought we'd have a quick drink.
We should give the whole game away. People will think we're really Germans.
Oh, no.
Ginger beer.
I say, Level, here. Look, I'm sure it seems rather odd to you to see everybody dressed as Germans, but I don't need to tell you, do I, that they're not really Germans.
No.
No, even so, I wouldn't breathe a word of it to anyone if I were you, because, you know, they might get the wrong idea. All right? You do understand, don't you?
Yes.
Outside, everybody.
Come on, everybody outside. Into the van, boss.
Get into the van, quickly as you can, before anybody sees you. Hello.
Hey! Hey, go on, don't stand there like a pudding. Do something. Look, you're letting them get away.
What do you expect me to do?
Well, you're a special constable. Arrest them. What, all of them?
Well, arrest that British officer, then. He's a quisling.
Yeah.
A collaborator.
It's a very delicate
Yeah,
situation.
go and have a word with him.
Come on,
Go
we're behind
Go and
you.
speak to him. We're behind you. Catch him quick.
Excuse me, sir. Might I have a
Yes,
word
what
with
is
you?
it, officer?
Might I have a word with you? I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Yes?
May I ask what you're doing with a butcher's van full of Germans?
I can assure you they're not Germans.
Schweinhund, get out of the way at once. Do you hear me?
Go back inside the van, boy. I shan't tell you again. Youthful high spirits.
Well, I'm not afraid of them, even if you are. You're a quisling.
No, madam, no, no, no.
Traitor.
Someone knocking on the side of the van.
All
right, keep calm. I'll take charge of this. We must warn England. Mr. Pelthorpe, they're making for Warmington-on-Sea.
Right.
You get in touch with the Home Guard there and tell them, and I'll ring the superintendent at Eastbourne Police Station.
Right. No, you can. Okay. Go.
Keep calm. Keep calm.
Look, it clearly states there that I have the booking of the All every Thursday night. Now, why was it changed and given to Mannering?
Mr. Mannering told me he'd spoken to you, Mr. Rogers.
Well, he never said a word to me.
Well, what shall I do about it, Your Reverence?
Oh, well, you'll have to sort that out yourself, Mr. Yateman. Don't worry me, I'm trying to write my sermon.
Look, when Mannering gets back, I'm going to have a few words to say to him.
Oh, answer the telephone, would you, Mr. Hodges?
Hello?
Hello. Warmington-on-Sea Home Guard.
They're not here.
Oh, don't go away. I've got an urgent message for them.
Oh, yeah.
There's 16 Nazi paratroopers on their way over there.
Who are you?
I'm Mr. Palethorpe, the landlord of the Six Bells. Yeah, now look, did you hear what I said? See, Nazi paratroopers, a party of them, and they're led by a British officer. He's a quisling. So tell the Home Guard and warn England.
Oh, blimey.
What's the matter? What's the matter, Mr. Rogers?
Well, it's the landlord of the Six Bells. Sounds as if he's had a right skinful. Blabbering something about a lot of Germans led by a British officer.
Oh, dear, the evils of drink.
Yes, indeed, Your Reverence.
Fall out, man.
Right, there's Napoleon now. Now, I'm going to get the booking of this all sorted out once and for all. Come on, Vicar.
Look, I'm trying to write my sermon.
Look, it's your all. Come on.
Look, stop handling me, Mr. Hodges. You know, I can't stand that sort of thing.
Look, come on, get out. And you, go on, get up, Harry. Go on.
Germans. Now, pay attention, men. I know you're all as disappointed as I am that we weren't able to do any shooting today. Perhaps we shall have better luck next week. In the meantime, I must impress on you how secret all this is. I don't want any repetition of what happened in the public house this morning. We must not be seen in these uniforms. They must be hidden away until they're needed for shooting.
I can't believe my eyes. That landlord wasn't drunk. It's Mannering. He's a quisling, a traitor.
Oh, no. They'll shoot us.
Yeah, they'll shoot us. We'll sound the alarm. Yeah, yes. The church bells. Now, quick, Mr. Hodges, lock the door.
What the hell's shall we use, Your Reverence?
Oh, you stupid fellow, just ring the bells.
You just put back
Look,
the
don't
ropes.
argue, just pull the ropes. Come on, get him down quick.
Right, that's all then. Dismiss.
Pick us up. This right, the opposite.
Good heavens, the church bells.
It's the bells. It must be the invasion. The Germans are coming. Don't panic. The Germans are coming. The Germans are coming.
Somebody must have seen us in these uniforms and thought we were real Germans.
The whole countryside will be up in arms. We must stop those bells. Follow me. Look, stop ringing the bells. Stop the bells.
Hey, we're not real Germans. We're not real Germans.
Break it down.
Right, chap, right.
They're trying to get in. Louder.
Stop, that's not doing anything.
No, Sir Stoker, they can't hear you because of the sound of the bell.
Phone up THQ. Tell them it's a false alarm.
Yes, Mr. Henry.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes?
Why don't you shoot the lock off?
Ah, that's a good idea.
And for heaven's sake, don't do that, sir. You might hit one of the bell ringers.
Ah. Well done, Wilson. Why don't you spot that one first?
Couldn't you put a note under the door?
Yes, that's a good idea, Godfrey. Right, take a note,
No,
Jones.
sir. Oh, right, sir. Right, sir. I didn't expect to have to write down anything, sir.
Right, stand clear.
Stand clear.
I'm shooting the lock off.
Shooting the lock off. Yours sincerely.
No, never
Jack.
mind.
Under the door. Coming under the door.
As you can.
No.
Right.
I don't get money.
Now.
No. If we shoot the lock off, we'll have to pay for the damage.
Oh. Right, stand clear, everybody. Still locked.
Just a minute, sir. It was bolted.
How did you get in here?
Through the vestry, sir, but there's still nobody about.
Captain Manrin.
Yes.
Look.
Go.
What are you doing now? Just no time for shooting him up. Come down at once.
You flipping hooligans!
Yes.
Oh, hello. I managed to get through the GHQ, spoke to the Brigadier in person.
What did he say?
Well, there was 3 battalions of Coldstream Guards on their way and a whole armoured division, but we managed to stop them.
Well done, Pike.
Yeah. The whole of the south coast is on red alert. And the Brigadier, he wanted to know what blithering idiot was responsible. So I've made an appointment for you tomorrow morning, 10:30.
You stupid boy.
Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think we're on the run? We are the boys who will stop your little game. We are the boys who will make you think again. 'Cause who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done? Mr. Brown goes off to town on the A21, but he comes home each evening and he's ready with his gun. So who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done?
Don't you like it, then?
No, it's lovely. Absolutely lovely.
Queued up for hours for that.
No, it's beautiful. I really am awfully fond of veal and ham pie.
Of course, the whole thing's a farce.
Oh, I don't know. I think we get on rather well.
I'm talking about Frank.
Oh, Frank.
It's a farce that he should have to waste a whole day going for his medical.
Yes, well, he was bound to get his calling out papers sooner or later.
But they couldn't possibly take him. Not with his chest.
Well.
If he goes without his scarf, he gets croup. And then I'm up all night.
Yeah, well, couldn't he possibly wear his scarf underneath his uniform?
Can you see him doing that? He's like you. He won't be advised. Look what happened when I tried to cure his sinus.
Yes, well, perhaps he just didn't like sleeping with a hot water bottle on his face.
There you are, then. And what about his weak ankles? Slightest thing, and over he goes.
No, I didn't know about that.
Why do you think I spend hours holding ice packs on his feet?
I've often wondered.
On top of that, there's his nerves.
That face thing of his is really rather worrying.
Face thing?
Yes.
What face thing?
Well, haven't you noticed he does it he's been doing it ever since he got his calling up papers?
Doing what?
Well, this, see.
That? Well, that's his age. All boys do that.
Oh, do they?
Arthur, how many times have I asked you not to smoke during meals?
Well, look, Mavis, please, honestly, look, now, look, I have. I'm practically finished it up, haven't I?
You don't eat enough to keep a fly alive.
Oh,
Beats me where you get your energy from. Oh, he's back.
Hello, Mum.
And about time, too. You know you're due on parade in 10 minutes. Now sit down and don't bolt your tea.
Well?
Don't you want to know how I got on?
Well, it couldn't have taken them more than 5 minutes to decide about you.
There all day. They passed me fit on A1.
No, all right, no, Mavis, please, for heaven's sake, don't upset yourself.
Well, it must be a mistake. I should have gone with him. Did you tell him what I told you?
Yeah. And the doctor said there's nothing wrong with me that can't be put right with exercise, fresh air and good food.
Good food? Good food? I gave him my egg this morning, didn't I? Tell him, Arthur.
She gave you her egg, Frank.
Thank you.
You'll have to go and see them, Arthur.
What?
They're not having my Frank for a soldier.
No. I've asked to be put in the RAF.
You? In an aeroplane? You get dizzy standing on a chair.
I asked them if I could be a Spitfire pilot. But they said I'd have to be an ordinary aircraftman first and see how I got on. Just think. I'll be the second of the few.
Oh, what a difference it would make.
Stand at ease. Now, where's Jones?
He's not here. He's absent. Mark him absent without leave.
Pay attention. In a few weeks' time, we are going to lose one of the loyalist members of our platoon, Private Pike. Now, young Frank Pike has been with us since the day we were formed. Why does he keep doing that?
What's that, sir? I think it's just his age, sir. All boys do it, you know.
I didn't. Now, to mark the occasion of his departure, I prefer...
I'm sorry I'm late, Captain Manning. There's been a bit of a crisis at the shop.
Yes, well, settle down, Jones.
Well, aren't you going to ask me what the crisis is?
You cut your finger.
Who told you?
You've been marked absent without leave.
Well, I had to go to the hospital. It's one of the hazards of my profession, Captain Manning.
Yes, well, you're here now, anyway.
I don't want you to worry because it's my trigger finger. I'm amphibious.
Oh, good.
And I can still give him the old cold steel, you know, sir. I can still shove it right up.
Yes, all right, thank you. Where was I up to?
Well, I think we were discussing what to do with young Pike, sir.
Oh, yes, that's it. Leave the room, Pike.
Why, what have I done?
It's all right, Frank. all right. We're just trying to think out ways of celebrating your departure.
Oh, right, I'll go then. I'll wait in here.
You must speak to his mother about that. Very often indicates a deep-seated disorder, you know.
Come on. I think, as you say, the lad, he's been a very good boy. And I suggest we should have voluntary collection. Maximum sixpence.
Why should we buy him a penknife? I had a penknife when I was his age. I used it a lot. I used to whittle.
What do you think, Wilson?
Well, sir, I know Pike pretty well.
Aye, and he knows his mother pretty well, too.
Let's not get personal about this, Mr. Fraser.
I think it's very nice of Sergeant Wilson to look after Mrs. Pike the way he does. He's a true gentleman.
Yeah. We had an officer who used to look after 3 ladies. He was a gentleman. He wasn't very true, though.
Let's not get diverted. You're about to make a suggestion, Wilson.
Yes, I was, sir. But you see, I happen to know what Pike likes. And I think it would be a good idea if we were to give him a celebration supper of fish and chips at the restaurant.
Oh, that sounds a capital idea, yes. What do you think of that?
I think it's
a good idea, sir.
Right, you can come in now, Pike. We've decided what to do for your surprise farewell.
Oh, good. I like fish and chips.
You would never hear me complain again if I only had wings.
Is that one of theirs or one of ours?
That's one of theirs. You can tell by the coming and going hum.
Makes the back of your neck go all goosey, doesn't it?
Here, Pikey, you're not worried about joining up, are you?
No, not really.
You don't want to worry about joining up. Well, not in these modern times. I never forget the day I joined up. They shaved all my hair off and they washed me all over with carbolic. And then they gave me a great big basin of cold, fatty soup, a prickly horse blanket, and I cried myself to sleep.
Did you?
It's different now, I expect.
Yeah, I expect it is.
But one thing won't have changed, and that's the comradeship.
No, that won't have changed.
You've got to learn comradeship, Pikey boy.
Yeah, I'll have to learn that.
Yeah. If someone nicks your kit, you make sure you nick somebody else's. Always be first in the queue when the grub's up, and then you gobble it up quick and you can go round the second time and have some more. Never volunteer, and always look after number 1. Someone drops you in it, make sure you drop them in it. That's the best part of the army, is the comradeship.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Well, it's like this, Mr. Mannering. The blood donor people will be taking the church hall for 2 days.
His Reverence has agreed.
Mr. Mannering is aware of that, Mr. Yateman.
Well, of course, blood's very important at times such as this, and I want to be sure we have a good turnout. So the point is this. How much of the stuff can you manage? Not personally, but as a group.
Well, now, let's see. I mean, there'll be the whole of the platoon and their relations, no doubt. I should put us down for 50.
50 pints? That's rather a lot, isn't it?
What are you talking about? There's 20 in the platoon. We're only going to rustle up another 30. Hello, Napoleon.
What's this, Mother's meeting?
Do you mind not barging into my office without knocking?
What do you mean your office? It's my office as well, mate.
May I remind you both that first and foremost it is my office?
You've told him, have you?
Oh, no. The Warden's group will be doing their donoring on the first day. Oh, and they give a certificate to each group to put on the wall. It's a sort of parchment-like with a red seal and a bit of ribbon. They look very nice.
Yes, and my certificate will go right up on that wall there. Chief Warden Hodges' group donated 50 pints.
In that case, my certificate will be directly above it. George Mannering, 100 pints.
Aren't you being a little bit hasty?
You just leave this to me, Wilson.
Where are you going to get 100 pints from?
And if it comes to that, where are you going to get 50 from?
Well, I'll arrange it through my shop. Anybody who signs on will get a pound of onions.
Oh. Well, if that's the game, Jones can give sausages away.
He can't, they're rationed.
Well, dripping or something. Anyway, the people that I recruit won't need bribing.
Well, my entire congregation will naturally throw its weight behind this scheme, and to be absolutely fair, I shall divide them equally between you both.
That'll be 3 each.
And toss up for the organist.
And don't you bitten off
Now, Pike.
much more than...
You ever suffered from jaundice?
No, I get croup. Mum says my ankles are a bit wonky. Whenever I stand on anything, I get a bit of verdigris. Apart from that, I'm fit as a fiddle.
Mark him down as a game.
All right, sir.
All right, that'll do, Pike.
Yes, sir.
What's the score?
Well, there's Godfrey Jones and Fraser. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 not eligible because they're over age. Jaundice, 2. 1 on pills. And Godfrey's on pills. So that's twice you can't have him.
Look, only count them once, or we shall get into a terrible mess.
Yes, all right, sir. But 2 with colds and, oh, Lord. Yes, Private Elgood.
Elgood?
Yeah, Elgood. He's the one who's...
He's what?
Well...
That leaves you, me, and Pike.
Yes. Well, I'm afraid you're going to have to count me out, sir.
Why is that?
Well, you see, as a matter of fact, I'm a little bit anemic.
Absolute rubbish.
No, it isn't rubbish at all, sir. As a matter of fact, I had a word with my doctor this morning, and he said, far from giving it, I ought to be having it.
You're just trying to wriggle out of it, aren't you, because you're afraid?
No, not at all, not at all, sir. No, I've been a donor on many occasions. It's just that I'm a little bit run down. Perhaps I've been overdoing things a little bit just lately.
You've never overdone anything while I've been about.
The fact remains, sir, that you're still very short of your target. 98 pints short.
It's a disaster.
Yes, well, I did warn you not to be too hasty.
Sir, desperate times call for desperate doings. And why can't we falsificate our ages?
I'm sure we passed the 65, some of us.
Yes.
No, I'm afraid I couldn't be a party to anything like that, Fraser, but what a marvellous spirit we have here.
Yes, we have indeed, sir. Absolutely marvellous, yes.
I'm going to talk to the men.
Are you?
Help me up into this form.
Yes, of course. Yeah, all right, sir?
All right, all right.
Pay attention, the officer. Come along now. The officer wants paying attention, sir. Come along. Pay attention, the officer. Men are now paying attention, sir.
Thank you, Jones.
Sir, would you like the men to stand to attention while they're paying attention?
No, don't.
No, don't bother with all that. Don't.
Now, the platoon is facing a crisis. I won't conceal the facts, but due to no fault of ours, we are falling short of our target.
98 pints short.
Never mind about the details. Now, we've had dark times before, but by standing together, we have always triumphed. And it behoves every man of us to search the highways and the byways and call on all our friends, loved ones, and relations so that they can...
Rally to our bottle cry.
I do wish you wouldn't do things like that. Rally to our cause.
Excuse me, Captain Mannering. Will Mrs. Mannering be rallying to the cause?
And I feel sure that with our combined efforts, That certificate is as good as on the wall now.
Miss Fraser, I don't think Mrs. Mannering would do a lot of rallying.
Didn't feel a thing?
Well, it's the least you can do for your country.
I'm sorry, Captain Mannering. There's not a sign of anyone else.
Thank you, Godfrey. I don't understand this at all. It's not like Jones to let us down.
Oh, he went off with 10 men with their fixed bayonets.
Really, Captain Mannering, this is too bad. I have all these nurses standing by for a 100-pint operation, and so far I have you, the boy, and the vicar.
I know, I'm very sorry, Doctor. I can assure you they'll be along in a few minutes.
Well, I sincerely hope so. I could have gone to another town.
Vicar, what happened to the 3 that you promised me?
Ah, well, the flesh is weak, Mr. Mannering, and they hadn't seen any onions for a month.
This really is most awkward, isn't it, Wilson?
I really do feel very deeply for you.
Look, couldn't you help us out?
I'm terribly sorry.
You must realize how embarrassing a situation this is for me.
Well, can't you and Frank go round again?
I think Mum wanted to come, but she's ever so upset at losing me. I'm all she's got, you know. That's why she was a bit off with Uncle Arthur when he asked her.
Oh, you did ask, then?
Yes.
At breakfast.
Frank.
I think she was going to say yes. That is until Uncle Arthur mentioned there was a sort of burnt taste about the porridge. So she picked up the pan and poured it in his Homburg hat. They haven't spoken since.
You take my advice. Whoever you marry, take a very firm stand with your wife from the outset.
You mean to go on, eh?
That's right.
Yeah, I'll remember that.
Good lad.
Mrs. Mannering come in? I said, is Mrs. Mannering coming?
You know, you're going to have to do something about that habit of yours.
What habit?
This.
Do I do that?
Almost at the end of every sentence you go.
Oh, how awful. Oh, thank you for telling me, Mr. Mannering.
I was noticing when you were talking to young Frank just now. You know, I believe you're beginning to catch this face thing.
I was explaining to the boy that if he doesn't stop it...
Blimey, it's a bit quiet, isn't it? You couldn't move in here yesterday when my lot were in. Let's have a look at the score, Doc. Odgers 50, Mannering 3.
Yes, well, most of my people haven't turned up yet.
Well, I sincerely hope they come soon.
Go on, admit it, Mannering, you've lost.
There is one consolation, Captain Mannering. From my initial test, it seems that Private Pike is of a very rare blood group. You won't find one like him in 10,000.
Well done, Frank.
Do you that, Mr. Mannering? I'm one in 10,000.
I always said he wasn't normal.
Don't insult this boy. He's going to serve his country.
Oh, blimey, they must be scraping the barrel.
Give me the details of your call-up and I'll notify your unit, just in case. Right, start packing up, sister. We move on to the next collection point.
Excuse me, Captain Mannering.
Yes, but don't be too long.
The yard is full of people, sir.
We'll use the one next to the vestry.
Corporal Jones has brought them, sir.
What?
Captain Mannering, sir, I've done it, sir. I've done it. 97 pints I've got, sir. I've done it, sir.
What are you talking about, Jones?
Fraser, come on, bring the sergeant in.
Go on, me. Get in there, go on, go. Yeah. Left, right, left, off.
Salute the officer.
Salute, come down.
What the for you sticking me with a bayonet? I not make trouble. Me buddy, friend.
What's all this about?
First, I went down to the Italian prisoner of war POW camp, and I saw the guard there, and I gave him a little bit of fillet steak, sir, and he let me bring 80 prisoners of war out for donouring purposes, sir.
I object. That's not fair. That's enemy blood.
Of course it's fair. They started it.
Hey, what do you call me enemy for? I am not enemy. I sit at home, mind my business. Trattoria Paesano, very good food. I cook myself. And then they come to me, they say, hey, you got to go fight. You got to go bang. we is not to blame, Signor Capitano. It's the Signor Adolf Hitler. They is to blame.
Your government should be more careful about who it chooses for friends.
Friends? Oh, you should talk about the friends. What about the Stalins?
That's enough of that.
There's ATI ties in the churchyard. His reverence will have a fit.
I'm here, Mr. Yateman, and I'm not given to having fits.
Yeah, well, even with cheating, you still only got 83. I've still won because I've reached my target.
Oh, no, you haven't. I got 17 nuns as well.
I was coming to that. There are 17 nuns in the yard as well, Your Reverence, and they're all Roman Catholics.
Nuns quite often are, Mr. Yates.
You see, when I was down the Italian POW camp, sir, these nuns were there administering to their needs, and they were giving them nice balaclavas and knitted socks, and they're all Roman Catholics, you know. Except one, I think he was a Hebrew.
And 83 and 17 make 100.
Well done, Jones. Well, there you are, Doctor. We've fulfilled our target.
Good show. I'll get weaving, sister.
Right, gentlemen, Jones. Ladies first.
Come on, Hughes.
Come on, Bill, come on. This way for the gunnery. Nuns first and I second. There.
Oh, very nice chair, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Oh, it's lovely, sir, yes.
That's it. 2 place and 2, 1. No, 2 cord and 2 1 place and 2. That right? Yeah. And here's your pound, and now I want 8 and 10 pence change.
Haven't you got yours yet, Captain?
No, mine's a fillet of plaice and 2 pennyworth of fried potato.
Hello, sir. Here it is.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, no, that's not right. It's not seemly for an officer to have his fish and chips on paper.
No, well, I must admit a plate would be very nice.
Can we have a plate for Captain Manning, please?
Don't bother the man. He's counting my change.
Sorry. Hey, I'm so sorry. We haven't got plates for everybody, you know. There's a war on.
Oh, dear, well, never mind. Just a minute, sir. Here you are. You have my plate. There you are. That's it. That's right. Oh, no, that's wrong, isn't it? Because you were placing 2 and I was codding 2. Here, hang on a minute. There you are, sir. No, wait a minute, sir. Wait a minute. That's wrong because look, I've only got 6 chips left. But here, you hang on to those a minute. You have those, and I'll have these. There you are. Set up. Yours is on a plate, and mine's on the paper. There we are.
Thank you, Jones.
Would you like a pickled onion or a gherkin, sir?
No, thank you. Quite enough trouble here.
I don't have them either.
Miss Manning, you like some raspberry aid?
Oh, very little, thank you, but oh, that's enough.
Well, there's plenty of it. It's all paid for. Would you rather have lime fizz then?
No, thank you. No.
Mix
I'm
is
very,
nice.
very happy with what I've got, thank you. Why are we drinking raspberry aid?
Well, Frank likes it, you see, and after all, it is his party.
Hello, Napoleon. Eating with the poor people, are we?
Just go away, will you? This is a private party.
No, don't take any notice of it.
All right, sir.
I think I'm going to have to go for a long walk in the fresh air after this. If I arrive home with my clothes smelling of fish and chips, my wife will have a fit.
Ah.
Very sensitive nose, you know. I smoked a cigarette in the house once. She tried to keep me out of the sitting room for 3 days. I wouldn't stand for that, I can tell you. Look here, I said. That's your attitude. I'll stay out of the sitting room for a week.
You seem to be having some difficulty with the salt, sir.
Yes, I do, rather.
Here, let me do it, Mr. Manning. Here. Gets clogged up, doesn't it? It's the air that does it.
Yeah.
Hang on. Can I use the... There. Should be all right, then.
Thank you very much, Pike.
Hey, you're not going to get along, are you? I've got a queue on my long outside.
Had on, you've had our money, had your waste.
Look, perhaps we'd better just have the speeches and go.
Right, sir. Come along, gentlemen. Charge your glasses. Right. Come on, charge your glass, Mr. Manning.
No, I have enough in it, thank you.
Oh, right. Oh, sir, by the way, sir, we thought that as Sergeant Wilson is more closely associated with young Pike, perhaps he ought to make the speech.
Yes, all right. Good idea. Right. They don't make it long. It'll get very boring.
All right, sir, yes. I'll remember that.
Pikey, you got to answer.
Well, before I say anything, can I have another cod and chips, please?
One cod and chips for Pikey.
One more cod and chips coming up.
My lords, ladies and gentlemen, pray silence to Sergeant Wilson.
Thank you, Jonesy. Thanks very much, everybody. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, this is really a dual celebration, you know, because Captain Manning, we've got to congratulate him on the marvellous job he's done with the blood donor scheme.
Yeah, and that was a fiddle. That was a fiddle. You had a load of nuns and wops.
Keep quiet, will you? Now, the town clerk, sir, has presented you with this, this little scroll.
Oh.
Right?
No, you want to send it to Mussolini or the Pope.
Now, to continue, ladies and gentlemen, secondly, we would like, I'm sure, to wish good luck and Godspeed to one of our fellow soldiers, Private Frank Pike. Yeah. Frank, you've always been a very loyal member of this platoon, and we shall always remember you.
Well, yeah.
Where's me? I've got all these chips to eat yet.
Come on, Pikey. Get up and speak, man. Come on.
You take your time, Frank.
Ladies and gentlemen. No, gentlemen. Thank you very much for the fish and chip supper. I don't want to make a long speech, but I would like to tell you a funny story.
Good. I like a funny story.
I hope it won't be coarse.
You remember some of us gave blood for this certificate thing? Well, they found out that mine was ever so rare, so they wrote to the RAF and told them, and then the RAF said that if I was wounded or anything like that, well, they wouldn't have anything to transfuse me with.
I hope you don't mind me saying it, son, but so far your story hasn't been highly comic.
No, well, the funny thing is, they won't have me. I'm not going.
You're not going? When did you learn this?
Yesterday.
Why didn't you say something?
Well, no one's ever given a supper in my honour before. Didn't want to miss my fish and chips. I like fish and chips.
Stupid boy.
Mr. Hitler, if you think we're on the run. We are the boys who will stop your little game. We are the boys who will make you think again. 'Cause who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done? Mr. Brown goes off to town on the A21, but he comes home each evening and he's ready with his gun. So who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done?
Aren't you feeling very well, Uncle Arthur?
Right, I've got a slight headache, that's all.
Oh.
Mm. Frank, do you really have to make all that noise?
I've got to make up the ledgers, haven't I?
know, yes.
You know how fussy Mr. Mannering is.
Yes, I know, but couldn't you please do it just a little bit more quietly? Hmm? Use another nib or something.
It's the only nib I've got. They're very difficult to get, you know. There is a war on.
Yes, all right.
Anyway, if you've got an headache, it's your own fault. By the time we finish supper, it's always so late, you never leave our house until after I've gone to bed. And then you're back early for breakfast in the morning before I'm awake.
Well, you know, Frank, I always come round to your house for meals because your mother has my ration book.
Yeah, well, what I can't understand is I never hear you leave and I never hear you come back in the morning.
Well, you see, I let myself in and out very quietly.
You never do anything else quietly.
Frank, would you please stop? Just stop it, will you? Stop.
Do you know your trouble, Uncle Arthur? You don't get enough sleep. Well, tonight I'm going to make sure you leave our house before I go to bed, even if I have to push you out the door myself. I'm sorry, but it's for your own good.
Morning, Wilson. Pike.
Morning, sir. Morning. Oh, what have you got there, sir?
A new door for my office.
Oh, really? How lovely.
Do you realise, Wilson, it's 3 months now since the bank was bombed, and I don't know how many times I've applied for a new door. Confounded red tape. Get down, Pike. Pike, get down. Get down. Have you got my nameplate?
Yes, Miss Henry, it's here. There.
Ah, look at this, Wilson. My name in glittering gold letters.
Oh.
Can't wait to put it in its rightful place. On the door of my office.
Yes, well, it is rather a plain door, isn't it?
Hmm? Oh, that isn't the actual door.
Oh.
The door's inside. They probably put that case on to protect the paneling.
Oh, I see, yes. Oh.
I mean, they wouldn't give me, manager of the bank, a plywood door. Do use your intelligence sometimes, Wilson. Right, take the paper off.
What paper? This is the door.
This is made of paper.
That's right. Tar paper, to be exact. Standard government issue to replace doors in bombed offices.
I can't screw my nameplate onto a paper door.
You could stick it on.
Boy, be quiet. Get back to the counter. This is monstrous. I shall complain to head office.
Oh, don't go on at me like that, mate. Now, do you want us to put this thing up or not?
Oh, very well, yes. Get on with it.
Right.
How can I interview important clients in an office with a paper door?
Well, they use paper doors in Japan.
What's that got to do with it?
I've really no idea.
Now, how can anybody knock on it?
Well, you could put up a little notice saying, don't knock, cough.
I'm not having people coughing and spluttering outside my door. Just a minute. Got holes in it. What are these holes?
Oh, don't worry about that. I'll fix that. Got any stamp paper?
Oh, yes, sure, hang on. Yeah.
Tar. There we are. Good as new, eh?
You can't have white spots all over the door.
You're a fussy little fella, aren't you? That suit?
Come in the office, Wilson.
All right, sir.
I must speak to those cleaning ladies.
Yes.
Stanley, the Colonel's outside like a word with you.
Tell him I shan't be a minute.
Yes, sir.
And while we're on the subject of tidiness, it's about time you had a haircut.
Well, I'm terribly sorry, sir, but I'm afraid I never seem to be able to get around to it.
I know you think you look like Anthony Eden. But you have to be my chief clerk and my sergeant.
Good heavens, look.
Oh, morning, Mannering.
You set fire to my door.
Oh, dear.
Excuse me, just a minute. Make way.
Well done, Frank.
That was very quick thinking, young man.
Thank you, sir.
What about the hole in my door?
Stick a bit of paper over it.
Shall I get a stamp book?
Get out, boy. Come and sit down, Colonel.
Sorry to barge in like this, but I've got some bad news. It's about Godfrey.
About Godfrey? Oh, dear. Hope you're not going to say that he can't stay with the platoon. I know Godfrey's getting on, but he's very useful to us. And he's become a sort of father figure for the younger ones to lean on.
Yeah, as long as they don't lean on him too heavily.
I mean emotionally. You know, when the bullets start flying, you won't find Godfrey throwing himself into a funk hole.
Certainly not quickly. No, I mean, not with his rheumatics.
Now, don't worry, it's nothing to do with his being in the Home Guard. He lives at Cherry Tree Cottage, doesn't he?
That's right, yes.
Yes, he does, of course, yes. A lovely old place, yes. A cottage with a thatched roof, a white fence, and hollyhocks and roses growing in the garden. You know, it really does look like a picture of a chocolate box. You know, whenever I pass by there, I have to stop and I say to myself, well, that's it, I suppose, but that's what we're fighting for.
I couldn't have put it better myself, Wilson.
Well, it is what we're fighting for, but it's got to come down.
What?
Come down?
Yes, a new aerodrome's being built, and Godfrey's cottage is right in the middle of it.
Well, can nothing be done about it?
No, I'm afraid not. It's vital for the war effort. He'll get compensation, of course. But I thought it better that you told him yourself, so that he won't get such a shock when he gets the official notice. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. Cheerio.
Rise up. Yes.
What are we going to do about Godfrey?
Yeah, poor old thing, yes. Yes, he's been living in that cottage with his two sisters for donkey's years.
I know. I can't possibly tell him. Look, we'd better get Fraser and Jones over here, I think. Pike! Pike!
Come in. I can't get in. Hang on, had an idea.
How dare you put your arm through my door?
Sorry, but the handle had come off.
Who's torn it?
Well, it's not my fault if they give a rotten door with the handles that come off, is it?
Don't use that tone of voice to me, boy. Now, run across the road, get hold of Mr. Jones, Mr. Fraser, and get them over here at the double.
Yes, sir.
Right. Look at that door. It's only been up a few minutes. It's already in ruins.
Mr. Henry?
Yes?
Mr. Jones is in the bank. He's paying in his takings.
Very well. Ask him to come in and then go and get Mr. Fraser.
Yes, sir.
Wish we could do something for Godfrey. I feel very deeply about this, you know, Wilson, very deep.
Why don't you lend him some money so he could possibly buy another cottage?
Ah. Well, I don't want my personal feelings to get mixed up with my position in the bank.
Oh, Mr. Manring, you want to see me?
Yes, please. Jones, just a minute. Just a moment. I'll help you in.
Yep.
Oh. Rubbish, the handle's come off.
Oh, never mind, so put my shoulder to it.
Oh, no, don't do that. It's only made of paper.
Sing.
Well, there's the position in a nutshell. Godfrey's cottage has to come down, and the Colonel has asked me to tell him.
At his age, the shock could very easily kill him. And you'll be responsible. Do you understand, Mr. Mannering? You will be responsible.
Yes, all right.
Manning, why don't we move Mr. Godfrey's cottage?
Move it?
Yeah, we could take it to bits and put it up somewhere else. It'd be all right. Just have to number all the bricks and tiles.
The roof's covered with thatch. He couldn't number that.
Well, we could cut it up into slices and roll it up. Couldn't do it on a windy day, of course.
No, I think you're getting into the realms of fantasy again here, Jones.
No, he's not, Mr. Manning, no.
What?
In that film, Ghost Goes West.
Robert Donat and Jean Arthur. Well, there was this American millionaire, you see, and he took a whole castle all the way from Scotland to California.
See who that is, please, Wilson.
Right. I saw that fella. Rubbish! Their kilts hung too far below their Sassenach knees.
Yes, Marty's back, yes. What? Oh, Raymond, yes. Just a minute. Excuse me. Jonesy, your boy Raymond says, would you please hurry up, as the offer queue is getting rather impatient.
Well, tell him I shan't be long.
All right. He says he won't be very long.
Look,
All right.
please, could we get on, Jones, Fraser?
All right. I'll tell him. Goodbye. Excuse me, sir. Jonesy, your boy Raymond says that Fraser's boy Heathcliff has told him to move the offer queue away from the front of Fraser's shop.
Is this true, Mr. Fraser?
Aye. I told them to get them shifted.
How dare you interfere with my awful queue?
There's no right. No right at all to queue up in front of my shop. I don't want a lot of old women gawping into my window, arguing about their points.
Now, look here. My awful queue doesn't want to look in your rotten window. You've only got an old iron urn and a bit of old velvet in it.
My window's better than yours. All it's got in it is a couple of plaster pigs with comic expressions on their faces.
My fault I can't get any meat.
Look, please, I know we're all very busy, but will you just give me 2 minutes of your attention? Now, the Colonel has asked me to tell Godfrey, and I think, that is, that we think, Sam Wilson and I, that perhaps you, Jones, or you, Fraser, might be better telling him. After all, I mean, you are his contemporaries.
You mean you're trying to wriggle out of it?
That's not fair. I'd have you know that Captain Mannering is not only a bank manager, he's also our commanding officer and a gentleman. And furthermore, just a minute, and plaster pigs have not got comic expressions on their faces. They've got happy laughing faces.
Please,
Sorry.
Be quiet. It's no good, Wilson. You and I are just going to have to go up to Godfrey's cottage tomorrow afternoon and tell him straight. Right. You better come with us, Pike.
Yes, sir.
We must grasp the nettle.
Mr. Mannering, Mr. Godfrey's garden hasn't got any nettles. He's very proud of it.
Line all the way, leading from the Rose and Crown, from Trafalgar Square.
Now, I don't know how to do this, Wilson. We must pick exactly the right time to tell Godfrey.
Well, how will he know when the right time is?
You know, in that film, Dangerous Moonlight, Anton Walbrook had to tell his girlfriend he was leaving Poland forever. So he played the piano to her to keep her mind off it.
Yeah.
Uncle Arthur could do that. He plays the piano ever so well.
Oh, look, sir. What lovely flowers.
Mr. Mannering, Mr. Wilson, Frank.
Hello, Mr. Godfrey. Mr. Mannering's got something to tell you.
Godfrey, we're just passing. Thought we'd drop in and say hello.
How awfully nice of you. You're just in time to join us at tea. Dolly, Sissy, look who's come to tea.
Isn't that nice to see if Mr. Mannering and his friends? Ooh. Let's get some more chairs, Dolly. Yes, more chairs.
What were you going to tell me, Mr. Mannering?
Oh, I was just going to say I've never seen such lovely roses in my life.
They are lovely, aren't they? You know, this rose bush was planted by my father over 50 years ago.
Really?
Tell him quickly and then we'll go.
It's a tea.
Look at that. Perfect picture, isn't it? You know, I often say to my sisters, it doesn't matter what Hitler does, this cottage with its garden and the lovely roses will always be here. It's what we're fighting for, isn't it? Come along.
Mannering, going to tell him now or during tea?
During tea.
Will you sit here, Mr. Wilson?
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, how pretty the table looks.
Yes. Mr. Mannering, shall I sit next to Mr. Godfrey in case he faints when you tell him?
Quiet boy.
A milk, everybody?
I do hope you like this tea. It's made from water from our well, you know. That's what gives it a special taste. Tuck in, Frank.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Godfrey.
Bread and butter, Mr. Mannering?
No, thank you, I'm not hungry.
Oh, you must have one of my upside-down cakes, Mr. Mannering.
Oh, very well. Thank you.
You know, this bread and raspberry jam looks absolutely delicious.
I bake the bread in our old brick oven. That's what gives it that lovely, crusty taste. And I make the jam from our own raspberries.
You know, we're almost self-sufficient here. This cottage and garden give us everything we need.
Mr. Mannering, during tea, you going to tell him now?
After tea.
You know, it's awfully nice the way the sun brings out the colour on that wall. Yes, the whole place has a sense of permanence. My sisters and I often say this cottage stands for England.
Mr. Mannering, it's after tea. You can't wait much longer. You've got to tell him now.
You're right, Pike. The point is, Godfrey, that Wilson has something to say to you.
I can't.
Get on with it. It's an order.
Yes, Mr. Wilson? Well, do you think I could have another upside-down cake? Thank you so much.
You know your trouble, Wilson. You've got no guts.
It wasn't my fault, sir.
I mean, it would be perfectly simple for you. And all you could say was, I want another upside-down.
I wanted another upside-down cake.
Out, you stupid boy.
Mr. Mannering was very complimentary to me, you know. He asked my advice. He went round to Mr. Godfrey's cottage on Saturday afternoon to tell him, but because Mr. Godfrey's two sisters are there, he thought the shock would be too much for him. I agreed with him, of course. I said Godfrey should be completely alone when we tell him.
We?
Pardon?
When we tell him?
Yes, yes. He was very grateful, of course, for my advice, and he said he'd give us a couple of moments alone, and then he'd send out Mr. Godfrey with the tea.
Man, oh, man. Have you not got the sense to see that Mannering has left you and me holding the baby?
No, that's not fair. It's because you and I are the most senior members of the platoon. He said it would be more tasty for us to tell him. Here, you will back me up, won't you?
Ah, all right. I'll manoeuvre the conversation round it for you.
That's right, you do that. Oh, hello, Mr. Godfrey. And what brings you out here?
Mr. Mannering thought you might like a nice hot cup of tea, so I brought one out personally.
Oh, that's very nice. Well, we'll put it down on the seat, please. Now, listen, we've got to get this over and done with quickly. So start manoeuvring the conversation round.
Godfrey, son, Jones here's got some bad news for you. Well, how's that, eh? Well, my turn to patrol down to the end of the promenade.
Yeah, don't leave me, Jock.
Sure, I don't, man, oh, man. The war comes first.
Don't you want a cup of tea?
No, I'll drink it when I get back. Well, cheerio then, lads, cheerio.
What's the bad news, Mr. Jones?
What? Oh, well, we'll talk about that later. Let's sit down and have a nice cup of tea, shall we?
Yes.
Yes. That's right. Thank you. Oh, well, the cup that cheers, eh? Now, look here, Godfrey. In times like these, we are fighting for our lives, for our very existence even. And we have to make sacrifices. I mean, even Mr. Mannering, he has to make sacrifices. And what a fine man he is. I'd put my right hand in the fire for him any time. When I say in the fire, I don't mean in the real fire, you know. I mean, it wouldn't help Mr. Mannering if I went round putting my hand in people's real fires, you know, would it? No. No, I mean, I'm talking metaphorically, see? What was I talking about? I lost the thread.
About the sacrifice Mr. Mannering's making.
Yes, and so he is. He's got a paper door. Imagine a man of Mr. Mannering's status sitting in an office with a paper door. And what's worse, I tore it. Well, it's the same with houses. You know, if a man was to come down from high government circles to me and say, you know, in a nonchalant manner, and then say to me, I've got to knock your house down for the war effort, I'd have to let him do it.
Oh, dear. I'm so sorry. So they're going to knock yours down as well?
No, they're not going to knock mine down. What do you mean, as well?
As well as my place.
You know, then?
Oh, yes, we had official information yesterday. I meant to speak to Mr. Mannering about it. I didn't want to upset him.
Godfrey, what are you going to do?
Oh, it's all right. We shall manage. Dolly and Cissy will stay with friends. We'll put our furniture in store.
Yeah, but where will you go?
Oh, I'll find a room somewhere.
You'll do no such thing. You'll come and stay with me.
Oh, no. I couldn't do that.
Of course you could. I'll be glad of your company. We'll get on wonderfully well. Wonderfully well. And after parade, we'll go home. We can have a nice glass of stout each.
I'm afraid I don't care for stout.
Don't you? Well, you could have something else to drink, couldn't you? Anyway, we could have cheese on toast.
Toasted cheese always gives me shocking indigestion.
Well, we could listen to the wireless. You do like listening to the wireless, don't you?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes.
Yeah, well, we could listen to the Forces programme. Have a good laugh. I like the Forces programme.
I always listen to the whole service.
Well, we could listen to that. We'll be all right, you see.
T R U. Hello, operator. I want a trunk call to London, if you please. London. Hello. Is that Sir Charles?
Yes.
The Sir Charles Renfrew McAllister?
Speaking.
My name's Fraser. James Fraser.
What the hell do you think you're doing ringing me up in the middle of the night?
It's quiet and peaceful. And it's cheaper.
What do you want?
Tell me, are you the minister in charge of building this new aerodrome at Warmington-on-Sea?
Oh, now look, if you're after a building contract, there's nothing doing.
Oh, no, it's not that.
Well, what do you want then?
I just want you to shift the aerodrome a wee bit.
Are you out of your mind?
Sir Charles, I was reading in the papers the other day about your recent knighthood. And it went on to say that you come from a very fine old Scottish family that can trace their origins way back to Robert the Bruce.
You haven't woken me up to discuss my ancestors.
No, I've woken me up to ask you this. Could you possibly be the laddie with the same name whose father kept a fish and chip shop in that grand old Isle of Barra? Who was expelled from school for cheating? Who got that bonny wee thing, Maisie Mackintosh, into trouble? And who got the sack from the draper's shop for getting his fingers caught in the till? That wouldn't be you, would it?
Certainly not.
Oh, that's all right then. In that case, you won't mind me giving the whole story to a certain society magazine, will ye? Good. It just so happens I have got their phone number right here in front of me. Charlie boy.
Look at poor old Mr. Godfrey and his sisters. I don't half feel sorry for them.
The war can be very cruel, you know, Pikey.
Now, sir, we've nearly finished the loading.
Thank you, Wilson. This is a sad day.
I wrote a letter to the minister in charge of building the airfield, pointing out all the facts, and I never even got a reply. We're all in the hands of petty bureaucrats, Wilson. Faceless men.
Here, don't load any more on my van. You'll break the back axle.
Mr. Manning told me to put it in.
And I'm telling you to take it out. You stupid, soppy-looking boy.
Don't you call me a stupid, soppy-looking boy.
I'm going to have a word with Mannering about you. Napoleon, my van won't take any more, and I want my money now.
The arrangement was that you would be paid £2 out of platoon funds when the job was finished.
I want my £2 now.
Shoot him, Mr. Manning. Go on, you're entitled to.
Right.
Hold on, Mr. Mannering, hold on.
What is it, Fraser?
This is Mr. Blackwell from the town hall. They're going to move the aerodrome.
Then poor old Mr. Godfrey won't have to leave his home after all.
This is good news.
Yeah, and I'll be able to listen to the Forces programme. I'm going to tell Mr. Godfrey.
The whole aerodrome 200 yards further north.
Ah, so Godfrey's cottage won't be in the middle.
No, just on the edge.
Right. Unload the van, men.
Here, just a minute. What about my £2?
The arrangement was that you'd be paid when the job was done, and the job has not been done.
You chiseler. I want my £2.
You mind not raising your voice?
I want my money!
Come away, Wilson.
Nice, isn't it, sir? Bit different to the last time we had tea with you, Godfrey. You remember? Mr. Mannering was wondering how to break the news to you.
Yes, indeed. It must have been my letter to the minister that did it, of course.
No doubt about it, Mr. Manning, no doubt at all.
What was his name?
Sir Charles Renfrew McAllister. Fine man. They say he could trace his ancestors back to Robert the Bruce.
We're very, very grateful to you, Mr. Mannering. If it hadn't been for you, our peaceful little world would have come to an end.
Mr. Hitler, if you think we're on the run. We are the boys who will stop your little game. We are the boys who will make you think again. 'Cause who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done? Mr. Brown goes off to town on the A21, but he comes home each evening and he's ready with his gun. So who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done?
Look at the time, Wilson. Did you give Jones my instructions?
Yes, I told her to wait outside the church hall until the platoon arrived and then to bring him along here.
Yes. This evening's parade is an absolute mess-up.
Oh, look.
Good evening.
Okay.
Can I help you?
No, thank you. No, I'm just waiting for my men.
I don't want the men to help me to do the garden. I always do the vicar's garden on my own.
We are not going to do any gardening, Mr. Blewett. Mr. Mannering here is going to give us a lecture.
He's not qualified to give a lecture on gardening. I've seen his garden. It's in a terrible state.
I'm not giving a lecture on gardening, Mr. Blewett.
Well, who is then? You?
No, of course not, no.
Well, don't look at me. I'm not giving any lectures on gardening. Mind you, I could, but I've got to do the Vicar's green plant.
I don't want anybody to give a lecture on gardening, Mr.
I
Blewett.
could give lectures on lots of things. Woodwork, cleaning out gutters, repairing bicycles. I'll give a good lecture on repairing bicycles.
Yes, thank you.
Keeping chickens, restoring old picture frames. Now, there's a dying art. I could give a good lecture on restoring old picture frames.
Left, right, wheel, left, right, mark, time.
I don't have them marching all over my lawn. I'll cut it to pieces. Mr. Farthing?
Go with him,
Mr. Farthing?
What's the matter, Mr. Blewett? I'm trying to write my sermon.
Mr. Mandarin's got a lot of men walking all over your garden, and he wants me to give him a lecture on gardening.
No, my dear fellow, you've got it all wrong. You see, the vicar here has said that we can use his garden.
Well, I did give them permission, Mr. Blewett.
Yes,
And I don't really mind having a lot of men in my garden.
They'll trample all over the flower beds.
I can see them quite clearly from my desk, so I'll keep an eye on them. I'll see they don't do anything improper.
Yeah, we're not going to do anything improper, Vicar.
But I see that you don't. After all, I've never had a lot of men in my garden before. Don't know what to expect.
Now, pay attention, men. I must apologise for this slight mix-up, but the warden has got the hall this evening, and the Sea Scouts are using the churchyard, so here we are. What did the vicar say?
Well, he says it's all right as long as we don't do anything improper.
What does he mean by that?
I've really no idea. Apparently he's never had a lot of men in his garden before.
I see. Now, subject of my lecture today is fieldcraft. Now, we've just been issued with some two-man bivouac tents. Hold one up, would you, Wilson?
A two-man bivouac tent.
Now, the best way to test these out is to have a weekend camp, and I thought the best time to have that would be...
At the weekend.
Thank you, Fraser.
Mr. Speaker,
Yeah.
when you say a two-man tent, that might be all right for two tiny men, but what about a tall man or a fat man? I mean, take Private Spongy, he's a big man.
Yeah, I'm very big. I'd need a tiny man to share with me.
Yes, and you're a big man, Captain Manning. You'd need a tiny man. And Sergeant Wilson, he's going to need a tiny man. And Mr. Godfrey there, he's going to need a tiny man.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Joan.
You're going to run out of tiny men, sir.
I'm sure I'll find a tiny man willing to share with me.
There is not enough tiny men to go round, Mr. Godfrey.
Look, Joan, please. I'll sort out the sleeping arrangement.
I'll sleep with Sergeant Wilson.
Oh, no, Mr. Fraser. I always sleep with Uncle Arthur.
Now, the advantage of these tents is that they can be put up in a matter of a minute or so. I'll show you. Pike.
Sir?
Bang these poles into the ground, will you?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Farthing?
Goodness sake. What's the matter now, Mr. Blewett?
They're banging poles in your lawn.
Oh, really? You're behaving in an improper way, Captain Mannering. No holes in the lawn, please.
Yeah. You hear what the vicar says? No holes in the lawn.
This is ridiculous. How can I conduct a lecture under these conditions?
Excuse me, sir. If you've got somebody to hold the poles, then there wouldn't be any holes.
Well, that's good thinking. All right, you hold one of the poles, Pike. Jones, you hold the other one.
Yeah, right, hold the pole, sir. Right, hold the poles.
Right.
Sir.
Now, just get hold of the other end of this tent. That's it?
Yeah. You go there.
Now. Once you've got the poles in the ground, all you have to do is throw the tent over them and fasten the pegs. And the whole thing's done. It's as easy as ABC. I'll show you. Right. Here we go. Yes, well, you get the general idea. Right. Cleared it all up, Pike. Next aspect of fieldcraft I want to deal with is living off the land. Get it out of the box, will you, Wilson? Now, I want you to imagine that the Germans have landed and all our supplies are cut off. We're starving, and we have to comb the land for food.
With a hairbrush.
With a Tell them what that is, Wilson.
A hedgehog.
Mr. Manning?
Yeah?
Why do you want Sergeant Wilson to comb his hair with a hedgehog?
We're going to eat the hedgehog.
Sir, I don't think I can ever bring myself to eat a poor little hedgehog.
This is war, Godfrey. It's either the hedgehogs or us.
How do you know that you can eat hedgehogs? I mean, have you ever eaten one?
No, I haven't eaten one personally, but it's well known that they're very good to eat. The gypsies eat them all the time.
Supposing, as you say, our supplies had all been cut off, and you come rolling down the road, you know, and speak to us all nonchalant. Well, boys, we're going to have hedgehog for supper, you say. And we go out, and there isn't any hedgehogs. Why? Because the gypsies have eaten them all previously.
No, I don't think you need worry about that, Jones. Always plenty of hedgehogs to go around.
Not at this time of year.
Having caught our hedgehog, we now have to cook it. Now, here's a little wrinkle that's well worth knowing about cooking hedgehogs. Pike.
Sir?
Just hold your hands out in front of you, would you?
Mr. Mannering?
Yes?
Why have you poured mud all over my hand?
All in good time, boy. Give me the hedgehog. Now, take the hedgehog and you wrap it in the mud. Well, go on, boy.
Yeah, but if I do that, you see, I don't know.
Do as I say, will you?
All right.
Now you roll it into a ball, and you put it in the embers of a fire, and you bake it until the mud is hard. Then you break off the mud, the bristles come away with it, and there's your hedgehog down to a turn. You get the idea?
Oh, yes, sir, yes.
Right. Clear it up, Pike.
But I'm covered in it, aren't I? I mean, Mum will be furious when she sees this.
Oh, stop fussing, boy. Clean your hands. Wilson, start building a fire, will you?
Yes, of course, sir, yes.
Give him a hand, Jones, please.
Mr. Farthing! Mr. Farthing! They're setting fire to your lawn.
We're not going to light it, Vicar. It's only a demonstration.
Now, look here, Mr. Blewett. If you disturb me just once more, I shall get very cross indeed. If Captain Mannering does anything else he shouldn't do, just deal with it yourself.
Here's a tip for lighting the fire if the wood should be damp. You can simply make it go by pouring rifle oil all over it. Like that, you see? Also, if there happens to be a very strong wind blowing, you can overcome that by lighting 3 matches at once. Pike, come here. Now, look, Pike, I don't want you to light the fire. You understand?
No.
Don't light it under any conditions. All I want you to do is just go through the motions, will you?
Yes, yes.
All right. Now, take out 3 matches and light them together.
Don't light the fire.
Don't light the fire.
Just going to go through the motions.
Go through the motions. Oh, I see.
Wow! Yeah, I'm not having that.
Oh, no! Oh, all wet, Mr. Mannering.
it. That's how the trouble all began.
There. That's the lot. Put the salt in, Godfrey, son.
I put in 17 pinches. That's one for every man.
Did it be sent out by Palmbury? Tip it in!
Oh. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, halt! This is the life, eh? Feel that fresh air getting into your lungs? Running on the spot. Commence. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left, right. Up, 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 up. Keep him at it, Wilson. I'm going to see how the supper's getting on.
Oh, here comes Mannering poking his nose in. Oh, look at the man, he's going purple. If he keeps this sucker busted.
How's the rabbit stew coming along?
Ready in about half an hour, sir. We've just put the potatoes on.
Good, good. Hope there's enough to go around. We're all starving.
It's a good job we're not having to rely on the hedgehogs. I haven't seen a single one.
All right, Fraser, all right. Just carry on cooking. All right. Halt! Now, deep breath in. Hands on hips. Trunk circling. Commence.
Just a minute, sir.
Keep it up, Wilson. Don't stop.
There's Hodges' van.
All right, men, rest. How dare he come here and disturb us? I'll soon put a stop to this. Come with me, Wilson, at the double.
Right.
Jones to me, at the double.
Yes, to you at the double, sir.
Stop! Stop! Turn back at once.
What's the matter with you, Napoleon? Have you gone mad?
Clear off at once. We're camping here.
Oh, no, you're not. The vicar's camping here, aren't you, Vicar?
That's right. I'm camping here.
And you've no right to interfere with the vicar's camping.
Don't you start, troublemaker.
I say, it does seem a little odd. 3 grown men going out camping.
I'm not going to do any camping. I've just given them a lift.
Even more odd.
Get the boys out of the van, Mr. Yateman.
Yes, Your Reverence. Do you wish to inspect the boys now, Your Reverence?
No, you carry on and inspect them yourself, Mr. Yateman.
Very good.
Now, look here, Vicar. I'm in charge of a bunch of highly trained men on active service. How can I be expected to maintain discipline with a lot of boys mucking about all over the place?
For your information, Captain Mannering, my boys do not muck about all over the place. They're also very highly disciplined.
That's right. You tell him, Vicar.
My mind is made up. This is a free country and we're entitled to camp wherever we like. We shall camp over there. Mr. Yateman, back in the van.
All right, sir. Back in the van, boys. Quick. Come on.
Right, Mr. Hodges. Forward.
Well, what are we going to do, sir?
Mr. Speaker, why don't we take the whole platoon with fixed bayonets and run them off?
Run up, savages, Jones. Come on, let's go and have some supper. You're sniggering at.
Well, a thought just occurred to me, sir. If we had been having hedgehogs for supper, and the scouts had decided to have them for supper as well, well, there wouldn't have been any left for them, because we'd have eaten them all.
That was a very nice rabbit stew. Very tasty. Very sweet.
It really is a most beautiful evening.
Yeah. Pity about those Boy Scouts. Here we are. Bunch of comrades camping out under the stars. All spoilt by those kids swarming all over the place.
Right, Mr. Yateman, get them out.
Aye, aye, sir.
Now what are they up to?
Oh, look. They're going to play pirates. How nice.
Out to the water and hoist the Jolly Roger.
This is absurd.
Well, I'm off now. Enjoy your weekend camp.
You've done this deliberately, haven't you, Hodges? You drove those boys out here to upset my camp,
Don't be such a sport. They're only kids. Why shouldn't they enjoy themselves?
Well, goodbye, Mr. Hodges, and thank you for the lift.
Oh, it's all right, Vicar. I like to see young kids enjoying themselves.
In the morning, hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises.
This is hardly helping the war effort, Vicar.
On the contrary, Captain Mannering, we're having a practice for next Saturday. The boys are taking the raft down to the town to collect money for the Spitfire Fund.
Flipping kids!
Hodges is going to have a fit.
It's all your fault, Vicar. You and your soppy boys.
Why, what's wrong?
I've run out of petrol.
Well, that's hardly my fault.
Of course it's your fault. If I hadn't wasted my petrol driving you and your silly kids out here to this silly camp, I wouldn't have run out.
You just had to spend the night out here, that's all.
I'm not sleeping in a tent with rotten kids crawling all over me all night. I want to go home.
You can sleep in the other tent with the verger and myself. There's always plenty of room. We sleep with our feet to the pole.
You know what you can do with your pole.
Get you, Mr. Hodges.
Come away, man.
Captain Mannering! Captain Mannering! That's Captain Mannering!
Fraser, what are you doing?
Trying to wake you up. Listen.
What?
Did you know? Hear it. There. Gunfire.
By Jove, you're right. Turn out! Turn out! Wilson, Pike, Jones!
Listen, sir. I can hear a plane.
You're right. It's coming this way.
Come on, Uncle Arthur, hurry up. Come on. Hey, stop pulling me about. What is it, Captain Mannering?
Be quiet and listen.
There it is, Miss Mannering. Look, it's on fire.
Is he one of ours, Wilson?
It's German.
Did you hear an air raid siren, Fraser?
Not a thing.
Probably a lone raider trying to make his way back into France.
Well, he's not going to make it.
I wouldn't like to be in his shoes. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. All right, Ben, get back to bed.
Right, sir.
Well done, Fraser.
Here. Hey, don't blow it here. Come with me.
Blow it here and I'll give you sixpence.
Go away, boy.
Well done. Here you are.
Turn out the guard. Rifles and bayonets to the ready.
Right, sir.
What on earth's the matter, sir?
Look.
Well, who are they?
Well, they're Germans, of course. They must have parachuted out of that plane we saw last night.
There's Germans underwater. There's Germans underwater. Oh, sir, as soon as I see them Nazi uniforms, it gets my blood up, sir. Get them in, sir. Get them in.
I don't think even you can walk on the water, can you, sir?
come in at once.
Yeah. Hey, you! Mr. Mannering says, will you come here at once?
Handy hock, handy hock.
Will you hand his hock, hand his hock?
I'm not taking a blind bit of notice.
Oh, dear. You don't think they're dead?
Of course not. They're sitting upright.
Why bother with them, sir? Why not just let them sit out there and wait? They'll have to come in sooner or later.
But use your intelligence, Wilson. As soon as it's dark, they can slip ashore, and we'd have to comb the entire countryside for them. All right, they've asked for it. Move your boys, Vicar! There's going to be some shooting!
Come on, boys, into the trees.
Yes, come on, boys, into the trees.
Look, you better stay here, Mr. Yateman. Captain Mannering might need you.
Fraser, fire a shot over their heads.
Aye, sir.
But they haven't moved a muscle. We've got to admire their courage.
Don't let ever hear that sort of talk, Wilson. They're just stupid.
If they won't come to us, why don't we go out to them? We could make them surrender. We could use the Scouts' pirate raft.
That's good thinking, Pike. Right. Fraser, Godfrey, you stay here. The rest of you come with me.
But how can we make them understand? None of us speak German.
Mr. Hodgie speaks German.
How do you know?
He told me in the last war he was a guard at a prisoner of war camp.
Hey, you, Hodges, over here at the double.
And you know what you can do?
Don't get it, James.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Right, come with me to the raft.
Come on, you heard what the officer said. At the double.
What are we going to do if the Germans are armed?
We've got overwhelming firepower. We'll blast them out of the water.
They're heading for disaster. Sheer disaster.
Come on, Hodges. I want you as interpreter.
I'm not getting mixed up in this. I'm a civilian, non-com.
You're under my orders on active service. Now get on.
Get on the raft. Come on now, come on.
Why don't you shoot him, Mr. Mannering? You've got every right.
Hodges, you take the other one, Jones. You get up in the front.
Oh, yes.
Keep them covered. Pike.
You are, Mr. Mannering.
Right, thank you, Sponge. Right, shovel.
I don't know what's the matter with them, sir. They seem to be taking no notice of anything.
I've never seen three such surly-looking brutes. Right, that's close enough. Keep them covered, Pike.
Yes, Mr. Mannering.
I'll just tell them to surrender in the name of the king.
Ergeben sich in den Namen von den König.
You know, I think they understood that, sir.
Come in, Hodges.
What's happening, Mr. Fraser? Are the Germans being awkward?
They're just sitting there with their hands up. Man on them keeps shouting at them to come in, but they're not taking a blind bit of notice. No, not a blind bit of notice.
Tell them again.
Come and see here, Ryan.
I don't think they want to come here, Ryan.
If there's anything I can't stand, it's sulking Nazis.
Why don't we just shoot them, Mr. Mannering?
Don't be absurd, Pike. We're British. Can't shoot men with their hands up, and they know it.
Well, let's shoot at the rubber dinghy and sink it.
You can't do that either. The bullets will go straight through it and hit them. This is the penalty you pay for being a sporting nation and playing a straight bat.
You know, it's really quite simple, sir. All we've got to do is to attach a rope to the dinghy and tow it to the shore.
Ah. Well done, Wilson. Just wondered who would be the first to spot that. Now, Jones. Tie the end of that rope to the mast.
Oh, right.
Now, when we get near enough, Hodges, you tie the other end to the dinghy.
Now, look here.
Just do as you're told. Right, forward, man. Forward.
Hey, watch me.
Bit close up.
Watch me.
Closer still.
Here.
Keep moving. A little bit closer. Tie off.
Come on.
This tank is filling with water. We're sinking.
What? Right, get back to shore as fast as we can. No, Jones, I tell you it won't work. You're off into the realms of fantasy again.
Oh, let me do it, sir. Let me do it. See, I put the gas mask on, sir, and then I attach this pipe to this pipe I attach it to a little raft that's camouflaged. Then I'll be able to swim underwater and breathe through the pipe. And when I get near to that German dinghy, I'll dive underneath it and I'll pierce it with my bayonet, sir, and it'll sink.
What do you think, Wilson?
I think he'll drown.
I tell you, sir. Yeah, put it on like that, and I'll get swimming.
What did you say, Jerry?
They don't like it up him, sir. They don't like it up him.
Worth a try, sir. After all, what have we got to lose?
Right, let's get on with it. Where have you been, Pike?
I'm sorry I'm late, Mr. Manning. I had to borrow something from one of the Sea Scouts.
This isn't a game, Pike. We're dealing with 3 vicious Nazi thugs. Get your coat on. I'll just...
Now, look, I'm...
Oh, stop making such a fuss. Keep them well covered, Pike.
Yes, Mr. Manning.
Wilson, keep the raft pointing this way so they don't know what we're up to. All right, sir. You ready, Jones?
Yes, yes, thank you, sir.
Well, good luck. You're a brave man. I shan't forget this.
Do you mind holding my glasses, please, sir? Thank you,
Yes.
sir. Thank you. Right, take you hold that. We'll see now.
That's... Right.
Right, go on.
Now, Rob. James has got guts. I don't know what we'd do without him.
If this goes wrong, we might well have to.
He's turning round.
What's he coming back for?
He's under the raft.
Can you see him? Jones! Jones!
I can't hear you, sir.
I've got him, Mr. Manring. Here. What are you doing to the German boat?
You've come up under our raft, Jones.
Oh, I must have taken the wrong turning. I'm sorry, sir.
No! Manring, the Germans have got Mr. Rogers.
Get down! They're firing at the petrol drums. They're trying to sink us.
Swine. Right, that settles it.
No.
Let him have it, man.
Don't do that, sir. You'll hit Hodges.
Why is that blasted man always in the way?
Let me have a go.
Well done.
One for luck.
They're sinking! We'd better warn them. What's the German for can you swim?
I don't know. Hodges! Ask them in German if they can swim.
I don't care about them. I'm the one who can't swim. You bloody hooligan!
Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think we're on the run? We are the boys who will stop your little game. We are the boys who will make you think again. 'Cause who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Brown goes off to town on the A21, but he comes home each evening and he's ready with his gun. So who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done?
What are you doing, Wilson?
I'm just tidying up the sandbags, sir.
Well, don't leave it on my desk like
Oh,
that.
I'm so sorry. I beg your pardon.
Oh. Now look what you're doing.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Spilling sand all over the floor.
No, it's not easy.
Mr. Mannering.
What is it, Pike?
Mr. Jones outside in the bank.
Yeah.
Well, he's paid out in his takings, you know, £15, 6 and 4p.
Yeah.
But he's presented this cheque for £3, 2 and 6.
Ask him to come in, will you, please?
Yes, Mr. Mannering.
Perhaps I ought to go, sir.
No, no, it's rather a delicate matter, this. I want you to stay here. Stay where you are, please.
Yeah, right.
Only don't make that crunching noise.
Very sorry, sir. There's sand, you see, all over the floor.
Well, stand somewhere else.
Well, you asked me to stay where I was.
Look, stand over there, will you?
Right. Mr. Jones?
Yes?
No.
Morning. Morning, Jones.
Morning, Mr. Wilson.
Morning.
Morning, Captain Mannering.
Will you bring Mr. Jones a statement, please?
Yes, Mr. Mannering.
Fine. Sit down, Jones.
Oh. Now, Jonesy. There you are. Right.
Now, Jones, this cheque you've just presented for £3, 2 and 6.
Yes, it's my staff wages for the week, you see. I know it's a lot of money, but you've got to pay staff well these days, otherwise you can't keep them.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, I can't cash it.
Why not?
Insufficient funds.
Well, can't you get some more?
No, you don't understand. You have not got sufficient funds to meet the cheque.
Well, give me back my £15, 6 and 4p I just put in.
No, I can't do that. As you say, you've just paid it in.
Well, I want it back. It's my money.
The only way you could get it back would be by making a cheque out.
All right, then I'll make a cheque out.
No, I can't cash it. You've insufficient funds.
Well, I don't understand.
Look, didn't you receive a letter from the bank?
What bank?
This bank.
Here. Mr. Jones's statement. Brought your coffee in as well, Mr. Mannering.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and the cheque stubs.
Yes. Don't crunch about like that.
I can't help crunching about. There's sand on the floor, isn't there?
Well, sweep it up.
Why should I have to sweep the sand up? Of course, sweep the sand up.
Pike!
Here. Hang on a minute. I did get the letter from the bank on Tuesday.
Why didn't you open it?
Well, I meant to open it, and then I got an urgent load of offal in, you see, sir. You've got to concentrate when you get an urgent load of offal. I just have a look at it now.
Well, you needn't bother. I can tell you what's in it.
Oh, you can't do that, Mr. Mannering. If this is a letter from the bank addressed to me, it's private.
Jones, I wrote it. Just a minute. What do we do? What's happening? Pike, what are you doing?
Sorry, Mr. Mannering. I'll put you back.
You stupid boy. The point is, Jones, that for the last few months you've had an overdraft of £50, and it's not getting any less. And I just can't let it go on any longer.
Well, look here, Mr. Mannering. I'm sorry to reiterate myself, but what about the £15, 6 and 4 that I just put in?
Well, yes, but this cheque that you paid to the United Meat Supply has just been presented. So that takes care of that. That's right, isn't it, Pike?
Huh? Oh, hang on. £15, 6 and 4.
So, you see, Jones. We have a problem. We'll just go through these checks, Wilson.
Yes, all right, sir, yes.
Right.
Right.
Oh. That's a very nice cup of coffee.
Thank you, Mr. Mannering. Thank you.
I bet the Germans are not drinking coffee like this, eh? What's that stuff they drink, you call?
Ersatz coffee. It's made out of Made out of acorns.
We're drinking good stuff like this? Oh, well, that's what we're fighting for. Very good. You can take that away now, Pike.
Yes, Miss Mannering, thank you.
Must have been the brown sugar that made it taste so nice.
Brown sugar?
How that boy ever got his school certificate, I'll never know. Now, what's the first check, Wilson?
It's rather difficult to read, sir. It's got a brown stain on it, you see.
Oh, that's a liver stain.
How'd you explain that?
Well, liver always leaves a brown stain.
Now, look, can you pay back this £50 overdraft?
No.
Have you any sort of security?
No.
Well, you're rapidly becoming insolvent. What are you going to do about it?
Well, I suppose I could keep the checks away from the meat.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about liver stains. Look, Jones, I'm sorry. But until this £50 overdraft is paid off, the bank can no longer honour your cheques.
You couldn't do that to me, Mr. Mannering.
It's not I who is doing it to you. It's the bank, and I'm merely the servant of the bank to carry out the policy of the bank. Isn't that so, Wilson?
That's so, sir, yes. Merely the servant.
And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm very busy, Jones.
Oh, well, thank you for being very helpful, yes. Thank you, sir. I'll just go home and I'll have a bit of a think. That's right. I'll go back to my shop and I'll have a think.
Dear, dear. Aren't you being a little bit harsh on him, sir?
Don't think I enjoy that sort of thing, do you?
I've really no idea.
Look, if I let him have an overdraft without security, everybody will say it's simply because he's a member of my platoon.
But all the same, it'd be a terrible thing if poor old Jonesy were to go bankrupt.
I realise that. What can I do?
You know, sir, every day I walk up the high street to work, and as I pass those little shops, a nice, friendly, warm atmosphere seems to come wafting out. I mean, even from that dreadful fellow Hodges' greengrocers. And then I stroll on a little bit further, and I pass Fraser's funeral parlour. And then before I cross the road to come to the bank, there's Jones's butcher shop. White tiles all gleaming and shining. And old Jones there, standing there with his straw hat on and wearing his striped apron and giving me a cheery wave. You know, sir, it sort of, I don't know, sort of sets me up for the day. I feel it's my time, see?
Yes. You know, I envy you, Wilson.
In what way, sir?
I wish I could afford to be sentimental. But I take your point. And as soon as the bank's closed, we'll go over to Jones's shop and see if we can sort this mess out.
Awfully nice of you, sir.
I'm not a hard man, really, you know. It's just that some men are born to be leaders. Some men are born to be led. And I wish that, like you, I had time for the simple things in life. Unfortunately, I have to bear the whole burden. Yeah, that reminds me. It's Tuesday, isn't it?
Tuesday?
Rock cakes.
Rock cakes?
Today's the day they have rock cakes at the Marigold Tea Room.
Good heavens, I better go over there at once. I mean,
right.
There won't be any left.
Off you go, quickly as you can, and I'll talk to Jones.
All right, sir, yes.
Order 2 coffees and 2 rock cakes.
Right, sir, yes.
Wilson.
Yes, sir, yes.
Don't take the one with all the fruit.
The white line all the way, leading from the ropes and the crowd.
Oh, Mr. Mannering, that's very nice of you to come round personally. When I left your bank this morning, I was a broken man, but when I got your telephone call, I knew I wasn't alone in my trouble.
Well, we do the best we can for you, Jones. And we're a pretty formidable team. We've got the whole financial genius of my bank here. And don't suck your thumb, boy. Now, where do you keep your books?
Ah, right, sir. Over here in the gas desk, sir. There we are, in here, sir.
Ah,
sir.
I'll just go there.
Trying to get out, aren't I?
Right, full. Come on, Wilson.
Right, sir. Coming.
Oh. Oh, get out, Wilson.
What?
Get out.
It's not easy, you know.
Now, what's all this stuff? What's
Oh,
this?
that's Mrs. Johnson's cardigan, sir. Just when I open the cold room door, there's a nasty draught. You can put it on if you like.
No, thanks. Here you are.
As Mrs. Johnson's knitting.
Yes, and this.
As Mrs. Johnson's bismuth tablets. Right, sir, I'll leave you to get on with it then,
right.
sir. Right, sir.
Jones. Jones, I say Jones.
Yes, sir.
Jones, where?
Where are you, sir?
Jones?
Yes, sir. What, sir?
Look, Jones, where are you?
Oh,
look, Jones.
Oh.
What's this thing? Get it.
That's Mrs. Johnson's flypaper, sir. She's a highly hygienic lady, Mrs. Johnson. You've got to be hygienic when you work in a butcher's shop, you know, sir.
Get it off, Pike, will you?
Yes, Mr. Manning, all right. Sorry, hang on, bit of water.
Not with that.
Cut it off.
Get your books and things out of there. Spread them on the counter so that I can sort them out, will you? I'll stop that out of your wages. I want the invoice book, I want the ledger, I want the cash book, I want the day book, and I want the post book.
Yeah. Right, here it is.
That's all you got?
Well, there's several pages in there, sir.
What's this?
Oh, sorry, that's a mistake.
Oh, no. Bring the rest out.
Yes, very good, sir. Right, sir.
In all my years as a bank manager, I've never seen such slapdash methods.
Well, it seems to work all right, sir. I mean, it balances out all right.
Yes, that's not the point, is it? That's not the proper way to do it.
Here we are, sir. Here we are, that's the lot.
All right, now, let's see. You go through these, Wilson.
Right, sir.
And you go through these, Pike.
Yes, Mr. Manning.
Here, Jonesy, here. This check here. It's dated 1491.
Oh, sorry, that's a mistake. I meant to write 1941, yes. I was in a bit of a tiz that day.
It must have been.
Don't... What are these figures?
Oh, usual pound, shillings and pence, sir.
No. These little men on the back of the check stubs.
Oh, that must be Raymond the boy, yes, that's right. Boys get up to all sorts of larks, you know, look at that.
Have a look, Mr. Jones. You are. Hey, look, Mr. Manning, this is how it works, see. Get hold of it like that. There's a little man, flick him over, see, and he's running along. And he jumps over the fence. He lands on the ground again. It's good, isn't it?
That's awfully good, yeah.
He's running along, and he jumps over.
Don't give it to me, boys, in the game. Now, there's only one thing to do. I shall have to take all this home and do a proper audit. Find something for me to put them in, will you, Jones?
I'll get you a nice carrier bag, sir.
Oh, don't worry, Mr. Jones. Look, there's a box here. Put him in that. Get rid of that.
Those are my meat coupons. I spend hours and hours sorting those out.
You stupid boy.
Soldier, as you march along, sing.
The man who's been very helpful, you know, but I'm still worried to death. He says I'm insolvent. He's taken all my books away. He's going to do a complete audit it.
Are you mad? Let Mannering poke his nose into your affairs. Once that bank's got their hands on you, they'll squeeze you and squeeze you. You're doomed.
Hello. You're back late, sir?
Yes. I've only just finished going through Jones's accounts. He really is in the most terrible mess.
Yeah.
And I still can't find that £50. Better have him in here.
All right, sir. I'll go and give him a shot.
Just a minute. No, I don't want the rest of the platoon to know. You must be very discreet about this. I'll go and get him. Just run through that statement, will you, that I've drawn up.
All right, sir.
Pardon?
If it's about you making him bankrupt, we know.
You shouldn't be suggestive, sir. Do you think all my friends could come in the office too? They might be able to help.
Well, yes, all right, but if...
Come on. Come on.
Keeping you in charge, Private Sponge.
So?
Don't interrupt me unless something absolutely vital happens.
What sort of vital, sir?
Or like the arrival of the tea.
Mannering?
Yes?
Excuse me, I'm Mr. Swan. I keep the grocer's shop in the
what?
High Street. Mr. Swan.
Oh, yes.
I keep the grocer's shop in the High Street.
Yeah.
I tried to reach you at the bank today. I must speak to you. It's very important.
Well, but what is it?
Well, not in front of all these people. It's very embarrassing.
Oh, you'll have to pull yourself together. I've got a very important meeting in here. Excuse me.
Well, it's embarrassing to him, not to me.
I'll be as brief as possible. I've made out a balance sheet, and Wilson will give you the facts.
It seems to me, though, Jonesy, that your business is just about ticking over, you see. And that's all. The only snag being the £50 overdraft that you owe to the bank.
So, we shall just all have to rally round and see how best to help you. Now, for the purposes of this discussion, I shall be wearing 3 hats. One as your commanding officer, one as your bank manager, and one as your friend.
Heaven help us.
Excuse me, sir. Which sort of hat will you be wearing as his friend?
It's a hypothetical hat, Dodger. Now, the first thing to do is examine your assets.
Captain Manning, are you now wearing your commanding officer's hat, your bank manager's hat, or your friendly hat?
The bank manager's hat.
Oh, well, just as long as we know, sir. And it's a bit confusing if you're not actually wearing the hat, you see, sir.
Shall I run along to your house and pick up your bowler?
Be quiet, Mike. I'll send you home. Read out the assets, Wilson.
First of all, yes, there's the van.
Oh, yeah,
I should say £10 for that.
Right.
No, man, I don't. If he sell Jones's van, the platoon will have no transport.
Ah, that's very true, yes. All right. We'll buy the van from him.
Right.
Put it down at £9.
That's a £9.
If you do that, Captain Manning, I shan't have any business left.
Look, I'm trying to help you, Jones. I'm speaking as your friend.
Well, you don't sound very friendly.
What do you suggest?
Well, I don't know, Captain Manning, but I can't bring myself to squeeze those orphans.
Squeeze the orphans?
Yes, sir, you see, I supply meat to the orphanage and I haven't had any bills paid for 3 months. So there's exactly £50 worth there.
Oh, really? This is the limit. I've spent hours of my precious time trying to find that £50, and you're walking about with the bills in your pocket.
Yeah, well, I know I should have told you, but I can't think of those poor little orphans starving. They haven't got any mothers or fathers, you know.
I'm aware of what an orphan is, Jones.
Sir, the vicar's a trustee of the orphanage. Perhaps he could help.
Is he? That's a good idea. Go and get him, Pike.
He won't like being disturbed this time of night.
Nonsense. Only 9:30. Go and get him.
All right, be on your head. I don't mind.
Captain Mannering, I do hope this matter that you want to discuss with me about the orphanage is really important. I strongly object to being dragged out of my bed in the middle of the night.
Middle of the... It isn't even dark yet, Vicar.
That's got nothing to do with it. 1 hour before 12 is worth 2 after.
That's right. His Reverence must have his 8 hours.
Just a minute. What's he doing here? I don't want him poking his nose into my business. He's a troublemaker.
I am not a troublemaker. I'm here in my capacity.
Mr. Yateman is a treasurer to the orphanage. He assists me in every way.
The point is, Vicar, that Mr. Jones is in severe financial trouble. Because the orphanage has not paid his meat bills for several months, he's owed £50.
It's not my fault. It's Miss Twelvetree's.
Miss Twelvetree's?
I haven't had a cheque from her for 5 months.
This is a very delicate situation for me, Miss Twelvetrees, but I understand that you're in the habit of donating a cheque to the orphanage every month. But for the last few months, they've received nothing.
That's right, Mr. Mannering. You see, I own a small shop in the High Street, and I donate the £10 a month rent to the orphanage. But for the past 5 months, I have received nothing.
So you're owed £50. You've asked the rent, of course.
Oh, yes, several times. But my tenant is such a nice, kind, religious man. I don't want to push him too hard. You see, he's so very, very poor.
What's this I hear about you being so very, very poor?
Well, poor. Very poor indeed.
What about this £50 rent you owe to Miss Twelvetrees?
Oh, I just got a wee bit behind, that's all. I had the £50 ready to give her, to pay her, but I lent it to somebody else.
To who?
Mind your own business. Don't go putting your nose in my affairs. You're not squeezing me like you did old Jonesy. That's all. See you on parade.
I've never seen such a web of intrigue in all my life. But I intend to get to the bottom of it if it's the last thing I do.
Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, it's extremely good of you all to turn up this afternoon like this, and I'm quite sure that Captain Mannering won't keep you too long.
What's all the mystery?
Well, Captain Mannering will make it quite clear when he arrives.
Yeah, well, he'd better hurry up. I haven't got all day, you know. I'm on duty in half an hour.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, Uncle Arthur.
Yes?
Mr. Mannering found out what's happened to that £50 yet?
As a matter of fact, I think he has.
Exciting, isn't it?
Yes, right.
It's just like that film, innit? Yeah, Charlie Chan investigates. Do you remember? There's all these guests in a country house for the weekend, and one of them gets murdered. Well, at the end of the film, Charlie Chan gets them all in a big drawing room round a table like this, and he says, "One of you is a murderer. Very soon, I shall reveal the identity." Hey, do you think Mr. Mannering will do it like a Chinaman?
Don't be silly, Frank, please.
Ah, so.
See?
Well, it's very good of you to come, ladies and gentlemen. Won't keep you long.
He's just said all that, Napoleon. Get on with it.
Very well, I'll come to the point. Yesterday, Mr. Jones informed me that he could not pay the £50 overdraft back to the bank because he, in turn, was owed it by the vicar. The vicar was unable to pay because it was owed to him by Miss Twelvetrees. Miss Twelvetrees could not pay because she was waiting for it to come from Fraser. And you, Fraser, had already lent it to somebody else. That somebody else was you, Godfrey.
Oh, dear.
Godfrey then, in turn, lent it to Sergeant Wilson.
Is all this necessary? I mean, it really is frightfully embarrassing.
There's no need to be ashamed of it, any of you. I mean, you all acted with the best possible motives. Now, the point is, what did Sergeant Wilson want the money for? And this brings me to the missing factor, X, which is you, Hodges.
What are you talking about, Mannering?
I intend to show that by your greed and profiteering, you are responsible for this whole miserable affair.
Oh, very clever, Mannering. And just how do you intend to prove it?
I knew it. I knew Hodges would turn out to be the murderer.
Just keep quiet. Come in, Mrs. Pike.
Mum?
Take a seat, please.
Thank you, Captain Mannering.
What's she doing here?
You'll find out soon enough. Now then, Mrs. Pike, would you mind repeating what you told me a little while ago?
Well, Mr. Hodges there, he's my landlord. And about a year ago, He told me that he was going to increase the rent on my house from £1 a week to £2. Well, of course, I told him I couldn't possibly afford it. But he said not to worry about it. I could owe it to him. But then last week, he asked me to go for a drink with him to the Red Lion. And he told me that I owed him £50 back rent, but that he'd forget all about it if I was nice to him.
Would you excuse me just for a moment, sir? Would you mind awfully standing up? All right, sir, carry on when you like.
You're mad! That's criminal assault, that is! I'll sue you! I'll have you for every penny!
Oh, be quiet, Hodges. Making such a fuss about a little tap like that.
Little tap?
Carry on, please, Mrs. Pike.
Oh, then I just told Sergeant Wilson, that I needed £50 for the back rent.
If I were you, Hodges, I'd give that £50 back to Mrs. Pike. You'd no right to put up the rent, and you know you hadn't.
I'll do nothing of the sort. It's my property, and I'll charge what I want for it.
Oh, no, you won't. I shall report you to the Chamber of Commerce, and they'll throw you out on your ear.
And as a member of the Chamber of Commerce, I second that.
And I third it.
You're not a shopkeeper. Shut up.
All right, I'll pay it back.
Go on, then give it to Mum now. Go on, go on.
Look, I don't carry £50 in cash around with me.
There's £50 here. All you have to do is give me a cheque for it.
I haven't got a cheque.
I have. And I've made it out cash to your account. All you have to do is sign it.
Yeah, you mangy Bluebeard.
You can sneer, but I've admired Mrs. Pike for years, and she won't even look at me. Treats me like dirt, just because she's besotted with him.
Hit him again, Uncle Arthur.
Would you care to have another one?
No.
Well, just get on with it, then.
Here's the £50.
Here you are, Mavis. Sorry, Mrs. Pike.
There you are, Arthur.
Mavis, thank you.
Thank you
All right.
for everything.
All right, Mavis. All right. Here you are, my dear fellow, Godfrey.
Oh, well, thank you. And thank you, Mr. Fraser.
Don't mention it, Godfrey. Yours, dear madam.
Thank you, Mr. Fraser. You're such a good, honest, religious man. There you are, Mr. Bobby.
Well, thank you, Miss Crabtrees. There you are, Mr. Jones, your £50.
Just a minute, Your Reverence. I'm the treasurer. It's my job to give the money to Mr. Jones. Here you are, Mr. Jones.
Here you are, Captain Mannering, sir. Now we're all square.
Thank you, Jones.
I must speak to you, Mr. Mannering.
What?
Remember me? Swan the grocer.
Oh, yes. Well, what is it?
Well, it's a bit embarrassing in front of all these people.
You know, your trouble is you're too sensitive. Come on, spit it out.
Well, I'd prefer that we would go somewhere a little more private.
Oh, come along, be a man. Tell me.
Well, all right, then. Your wife hasn't paid her grocery bill for 6 months. It comes to £49, 17 shillings and sixpence, and I want it now. Now, how much have you got there? £50. £50. Thank you. Here's a £half-crown change. I'll send you the receipt. Good afternoon.
Here, I say it. Just a moment. Just a minute. That money belongs to the bank.
Don't worry, sir. Give yourself a loan. Treat yourself to an overdraft.
I say, stop!
Mr. Hitler, if you think we're on the run. We are the boys who will stop your little game. We are the boys who will make you think again. 'Cause who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done? Mr. Brown goes off to town on the A21, but he comes home each evening and he's ready with his gun. So who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done?
Ah, Wilson, come in.
Thank you.
Sit down.
Oh, thank you, sir. Still doing the paperwork, I see.
Yes. This concerns you particularly.
Oh?
Yes. The officers have been asked to submit confidential reports on their sergeants.
Oh, really?
And so to be absolutely fair to you, I've copied out what I've written. And we can go through it together. You can countersign it, so you're sure I'm not doing anything underhand.
Well, I'm sure you wouldn't do that, sir.
No. Right. Conduct. Good.
Oh. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
This means your military conduct, of course. It's nothing to do with your private life.
I see.
Now, next, appearance. Now, I had a lot of difficulty over this.
Yeah. Well, why was that, sir?
Well, I've known you for a good many years now, Wilson. I mean, you're my chief clerk. I suppose you're almost a friend. As your commanding officer, I must be both fair and impartial. Well, you'll see what I've written.
Ah, yes. Could do better. How could I do better, sir?
Well, I mean, look at you. Untidy hair, collar undone, cuffs undone.
Yes, well, I mean, it's so much more comfortable, you see. I mean, I always do them up if somebody as important is coming.
Yes, it's not altogether that, you know. I mean, your general bearing is very slack. You don't even stand like a soldier.
Really? I had no idea.
That's quite true, I can assure you. You're frequently to be seen standing like that. Oh, yes, it's all very well to laugh. Only needs a couple of inches more and you could be taken for one of those Nancy boys. You should be standing like that.
Yes, well, I know. I'm awfully sorry, sir, if you don't think I'm quite smart enough. I mean, I wouldn't upset you for the world.
You're not upsetting me, Wilson. Just that we are supposed to be soldiers and there happens to be a war on.
Yes, of course, yes. I suppose I'd forgotten. What's next? Parade ground manor. Room for improvement.
I'm glad you find that funny.
I'm terribly sorry, sir, but you see, it really does read like a headmaster's end-of-term report.
No, I wouldn't know anything about that. We didn't have any of that public school nonsense at the school I went to. We didn't pay attention, we got a clip over the air. Jolly soon paid attention after that.
No. General alertness. Could do better.
I think I should take this seriously, Wilson. After all, it could affect your entire Home Guard career.
I'm terribly sorry, sir. I really promise you. I'll try and... I'll try not to laugh anymore. Sorry.
I've tried to let you down lightly there, you know. You know what I should have put under general alertness?
Yeah.
I should have put dozy. Yeah, dozy. You walk about in a dream. Aha!
Are you all right?
See? Took no notice, did you? That could have been a Nazi. Attempting to cut your throat.
Yes, well, you're not, are you? You're you. Waving that paper thing, the badge.
Well, I think you're throwing away great opportunities. Between you and me, Wilson, there's some big changes in the wind. This little band of ours could develop into something 3 times the size. These 3 pips of mine may become a crown.
What? You a major?
Oh, yes, indeed. I intend to turn this platoon into a company. And in that case, you would be in first line for company sergeant major. Or even second lieutenant.
Yes, but where are all the other extra men going to come from?
I intend to take time by the forelock here. In the words of the great C.B. Cochrane, early to bed, early to rise, no jolly good if you don't advertise. I'm going to start a recruiting campaign. Come in.
Mr. Spick, sir?
Yeah.
It's falling in time, sir.
Oh, is it?
Yes, sir. Now, half the men are in the hall and half the men in the yard. Now, do you want the men in the yard in the hall or men in the hall in the yard?
In the hall, please, Corporal.
Very good, sir. Thank you, sir. Right, all those fellas in the hall, fall in the hall. Sir, sharp a minute, sir. All those out in the yard, fall in the hall. Right, sir. All the men in the hall and in the yard are obeying the orders at the double, sir. Thank you, sir. All the men... Mr. Jones.
Excuse me, sir, we have to fall into the hall. Right, lads, in the ball in the hall.
There's no need to go through here.
Do as the officer says and fall in the other way.
Oh, fall in the other way.
Fall in the other way. The men are now getting the other way, sir.
Started it there, to start it is, that's how the trouble
So,
all began.
That's our target then, to treble our strength. And in addition to those people we know personally, of course, who we can try to persuade to join us, I think that a poster displayed around the town would be a very good thing.
Sir, I think we ought to have one like General Kitchener. The Home Guard needs you.
How remarkable. I was thinking along exactly the same lines, because I don't have any pictures of myself like that, but I could have some taken.
No, hold on, hold on. Huh? I don't think we should have an officer spectre at all.
Oh, why?
It's not officers we need, it's men.
Yeah. I think we ought to have a picture of Uncle Arthur.
Thank you, Frank, but I wouldn't want that.
No, I quite agree.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, but Mum says he's ever so good looking.
My sister Dolly always says that beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
There's no need to be rude, Godfrey.
Sir, I think we should do it in confidence, sir. We should all vote in a secret ballet. And then we can... one that wins, he can have his picture on the poster.
Yes, I think that's a terribly good idea. Don't you agree, sir?
Well, it's a compromise, I suppose.
Well, whatever happens, we'll need a photo, and I happen to know a fine photographer who's very cheap.
Oh, good. Right, lay that on, Fraser, would you?
Come on.
And, Wilson, will you organise a secret ballet, but with ballot?
He says that I began.
Now, all the votes have been counted in the secret ballot, and I will now ask Mr. Yeatman to hand me the result. Hand me the result, please, Mr. Yeatman.
Here it is, Your Reverence.
Captain Mannering has won.
Oh, well done.
Congratulations, sir. Very good indeed.
Very gratifying, I'm sure.
No, just a minute. I'm announcing these results in the reverse order. Captain Mannering has 1 vote.
See, I thought it was agreed that we wouldn't vote for ourselves.
I voted for Captain Mannering.
Thank you, Godfrey.
Crawler.
Private Pike has 2 votes.
Thank you, Uncle Arthur.
All right, all right.
Sergeant Wilson has 4 votes.
Oh, well done, Uncle Arthur. Well done.
And Lance Corporal Jones has 10 votes.
Lance Corporal Jones is the winner.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Yeatman. I had managed to work that out for myself. Lance Corporal Jones is the winner.
Oh, good old Jones.
Thank you very much.
Well done, Jonesy. Congratulations.
Thank
All
you.
together.
Well, it's been a fair fight, and I'm very satisfied with the result.
And, what time did we come round for the sausages?
He says, I says, you know what you can do.
Oh, Frank, has Josie come round to have his picture taken?
No, not yet. But the photographer's here and he's getting everything ready.
Ah, good.
Uncle Arthur, I think you ought to come and have a look.
Whatever for?
Well, it's not very modern.
Where do you want this, Mr. Fraser?
What is it, son?
It's my sister Doris Aspidistra.
That's where Mr. Jones going to have his photograph taken. He's going to look like that one of my granddad on Mum's Whatnot.
I do see what you mean. Where is he? Where's the photographer?
Under here.
What? Ah. Ah.
Good afternoon.
Ah. Mr. Blewett, I didn't know that you did this sort of thing.
Oh, yes, I had the concession on the West Promenade for years. I used to say, "Oh, still, me jolly holiday makers," and then I used to go click, dip it in the tank and hand it all wet for 2 bob.
And it didn't fade until they got home a week later.
Don't you think perhaps that the backing is just a little teeny-weeny bit old-fashioned?
Oh, it'll fit Jonesy's face.
I like it. I think it's very refined and well-meaning. I hate those brass copper plated things.
Where do you want to stand?
Stand over there, Mr. Jones, please.
Right.
Mr. Mannering's not going to like it, and he's going to blame you.
Well, it's nothing to do with us, Frank.
I would like one with a very grim and serious expression, you know, something like this.
I see. Well, you'll have to hold your hand absolutely still for 6 seconds.
6 seconds? I can't hold my hand still for 6 seconds.
Well, I can't say I blame you. I don't think I'd do it myself.
Come here, use a flash.
And I can't get the bulbs.
Oh. What about flash powder?
Ah, yes. Now, I tried that once at a wedding, and I must say the picture had a lovely quality, but they all burned down.
Look, I'd like to try one like this. I can hold this position for 6 seconds easy.
All right, Josie, take a deep breath and keep absolutely still.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, what a pity.
Never mind, we'll have another one. See, there's no extra charge, is there?
No extra charge.
I say, Wilsie, do you think I should have one with my spectacles off? General Kitchell, he never wore spectacles when he was photographed. Come to think of it, he didn't wear spectacles when he wasn't photographed.
Mr. Mannering's not going to like it either way.
Just keep quiet, Frank. No, I think, Josie, on the whole, it might be better if you had them without the spectacles.
Right, how's that, then?
Right. It's fine as long as you hold still, son.
Yeah, all right.
Still.
Deep breath.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hold on, we can't have that. No, look.
That's no good. His eyeballs will look like fuzzy prunes.
Still no extra charge.
Right, this is the last one.
You hear that? Hold still, you silly old fool.
Don't you speak to me like that. I'm a Lance Corporal, I am. You're not to call me a silly old fool. I can have you on a fizzer for prejudice conduct.
Sit down! Shut up! And hold yourself still.
I'm ready. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Squad, shut!
You're making a monkey out of me.
What's going on here, Wilson?
Just getting ready for the photograph, sir.
Oh, I see, yes. Who's the photographer?
Oh, it's me, Mr. Mannering.
Oh, hello, Mr. Blewett. Sure.
That's right, yeah.
Fraser fixed it up, sir. He does it very cheaply.
Yes.
It's very artistic. Come and have a look.
Whoa, Mr. Mannering, whoa.
I'm sorry, but that's not what we want at all. That looks ridiculous.
Yes.
Told you so.
Now, keep quiet, Frank.
Captain Manning, would you think it'd be better if I had my hat on?
No, it's not your fault at all, Jones. It's just that Wilson has got entirely the wrong conception.
Well, it wasn't my conception at all, sir. In the first place, you see, when I was doing this little sketch in the office, this was the sort of thing that I had in mind, you see. Now, you, then a picture of Jones's face, need a new hat, and a picture of a tin hat with Home Guard written on it, and underneath, the Home Guard needs you today.
Well, that's very good.
Yeah,
That's a very good idea.
That's what I thought.
We don't need all this paraphernalia. All we need is Jones's head.
Oh, well, we'll soon do that. Come here, Mr. Jones. We want to...
Mr. Blewett, go a little bit closer, Mr. Blewett. We only need Jones's face.
Oh,
That's it.
how's that?
There, that sheet come off my bed.
You'll soon stitch it up, man.
Hey, Captain Manning, do you want me with my glasses on or my glasses off?
Oh, on, I think, Corporal.
The trouble is, he can't keep still. I never saw anyone like him.
I can keep as still as you can keep still.
Yeah, but I don't have to keep still, do I?
Well, I promise to keep still this time, no matter what happens.
All right, now put your expression on. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I kept still, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Well done, Jones.
That was a very good one.
No, it wasn't. Didn't put the plate in.
One more for that.
I'm sorry, I can't take any more printing orders for weddings, affairs and that sort of stuff. I'm only taking war work. Bye. Fred, get your sandwiches off that machine. You'll have raspberry jam all over the type. Come on, get your weight on your feet.
Oh, Mr. Buckner, it's slowing down again.
Hey, up. So it is. Wait a minute. You can't get the spare parts, you know. Now, where was I? Where were we then?
Well, it's this escaped prisoner of war poster.
Oh, yes, I remember. Let's have a look, then. I wouldn't like to meet him on a dark night. How many do you want?
About 50.
50? All right, I'll do them as quickly as I can. Bung it in the basket, will you?
Be all right there, will it?
Oh, yes, that's all right. Wait a minute, 50. You can have them the day after tomorrow.
So long.
Right-o. Hello, take care of yourself. What? No, I'm sorry, I'm only taking war work. I can't do visiting cards. Well, you'll have to tell them who you are. Fred, come on, the big one. She's running dry. Get moving. Oh, it never stopped. Hey? What?
I think we spoke on the telephone together.
Oh, yes, I remember. You're the one with the posh voice. Yeah. Well, what can I do for you?
Well, this is the rough idea.
You need a new hat. I'm sorry, I can't take hat adverts. I'm only doing war.
But this is a war hat, you see. For the Home Guard.
Home Guard?
Yes.
Well, I suppose Home Guard counts as war.
That's the picture.
Oh, dear, yeah. Well, I'm afraid I can't do many for you, see. It's the ink. You can't get it.
Oh, no, can't you really?
No. You can't get the paper, neither.
Oh, I see. Must make life awfully difficult if you happen to be a printer.
Absolute murder. Well, wait a minute, it's military. How about, I give you 50 the day after tomorrow?
Oh, yes, that's fine. That's excellent. Thank you very much indeed. Now, shall I leave them here?
Yes, just put them on the in
Thank
tray
you very
there.
much. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
It's very good of you.
Not at all, good day.
I says it's him what done.
Come in.
Captain Manning, the printers have sent round a sample of the poster.
Oh, good. Good. That was a very ingenious design that you devised,
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Oh. Not a very good likeness, is it?
That's not Jonesy.
Can't I trust you to do anything?
I don't know what you mean by the wrong picture. Hang on a minute. Fred!
Yes, Fred, yes!
Where's that Home Guard poster?
Ah, here it is, Dave, yeah? What about that?
Hey, you daft Arbuckle, that's the prisoner of war, the other one.
Oh.
Hurry up, the military are on.
Here we are.
Look. Fred, you've mixed them up. Hello? There's nothing to worry about. We'll sort it over and let you have the right one.
Thank you very much.
Then you'll have to tear the lot up.
I can't. I gave them to the bill poster last night.
What you got there, Mr. Jones?
Half dozen eggs, Pikey.
Can I have one, please?
No. I take them to Mrs. Prosser. I look after her sometimes. I don't think it'll come to anything. She's 83. I've got the weekend, see? You better be getting along, Pikey.
Oh, look. They're giving away free polish.
Free Polish. This is a club for free Polish foreign soldiers.
Can I wait with you?
No, you better be cutting along. Go on, Pikey.
Give us an egg, then.
All right, then.
Escaped prisoner of war. This man is dangerous. Ugly-looking swine.
Stop or I fire!
If you had been a prisoner here in my camp, my friend, you would not have escaped quite so easily. Now, who are you?
I keep telling you, my name is Jack Jones.
Lie! Lie! Lie!
It's the truth, I tell you. I'm a butcher.
Lies! Lies! Lies!
You're not making a mess of your desk, aren't you? That's mahogany, that is. You're not taking care of it, are you?
Silence! Now, I shall ask the very same question in a different way. Who is that?
That's me.
Ah, so you admit it?
It's me, Jack Jones.
Listen, my friend, you tried to be funny with me, and it's going to be very, very bad for you.
Do you mind if I speak to my solicitor by telephone method, please?
Silence!
You're not supposed to talk to me like that. I'm secretary of the Darby and Joan Club.
Tell me, where did you get that moustache?
That's my moustache. I've had that for ever so long.
Concealed in your bunk, eh? It's false. Admit it.
You wait till Captain Manning hears about that. He'll have you on a fizzer.
Hello. Ah, Major. Thank you for ringing back. I have here your escaped prisoner of war. Yes. Please pick him up as soon as possible. I don't want him to teach my prisoners bad habits. What? Not till Wednesday week? Ah, very well. I shall keep him here, and we shall make him very welcome. Do widzenia. Put him in the compound with the others.
Can't wait to see Manring's face when he claps eyes on these. Go on!
Here,
Napoleon, you seen that? Oh, blimey, look at that hair.
Great Scott, Wilson, you've mixed the photographs up.
Well, it's nothing to do with me, sir.
Can't you do anything right?
Excuse me. I don't know whether you're interested, but I was in the town half an hour ago, and I saw Mr. Jones being driven off in a truck by a lot of Polish soldiers. Of course, I expect you know all about it, but all the same, I thought I'd like to be sure.
Oh, good blimey, that's good, isn't it? Those Poles, they run one of the prisoner of war camps. They'll have seen this and carted him off.
Come on, Wilson, we're going to get him out.
What are you going to do, dig a tunnel?
Come on. I'm in James's van and we'll drive there straight away.
Hold on, sir, hold on. Jones has the key.
I'll drive you in my van. I wouldn't miss this for the world.
That started it, that's how the trouble all began.
I'm not supposed to be here, you know. It's all a mistake. They won't listen to you, them Poles. Oh, Mr. Badman! Mr. Badman! Oh! I'm over here! I'm over here! They won't let me out, Mr. Mandarin. These here won't speak to me. And him in there, he won't listen to me.
Don't worry, Jones. We'll have you out of that in a jiffy. Hey, you! Get your commanding officer and look sharp about it.
It might appear to be rather tactful.
Damned impertinence. I'll soon put him in his place.
Go on, Napoleon, you tell him.
Hey, you! Put that gun down and listen to me.
I think it would be a good thing if you do not beat any more about the bushes.
Well, Captain Manning has no intention of beating about the bushes. He doesn't like that sort of thing at all.
I don't apologize to him. He's the one who's in the wrong.
You are the one who is in the wrong. You have no papers.
Yes, we're awfully sorry about all that.
No, we're not at all. Wilson. Anyway, I don't need papers. I'm British. I'm not just some foreigner. What's more, I'm known to everybody in the area.
I do not know you.
I'm going to phone my commanding officer. When he hears about this, your feet won't touch the ground.
Won't be necessary for you to phone anybody.
That's better. You see, as soon as you call that bluff, they climb down. I demand the release of my colleague.
Ah, so that man is your colleague, eh? That's very interesting.
You're a fine, gallant man, Captain Mandarin, you are. I've always said that through thick and thin, you'd stand by your comrades. And you have.
That wasn't a gallantry. The sheer stupidity.
Think my mum will be allowed to send me a Red Cross parcel?
Go away, Pike.
What time do you think they'll serve dinner?
Fatty soup. They always serve fatty soup in these places. It's one thing I can't stand is fatty soup.
Steady. Don't lose control. What do you find so funny, Wilson?
Just a thought. Do officers have confidential reports?
Oh, yes. It's the same for all of us.
Yes. I wonder what the Colonel will say on yours when he gets to hear about all this.
Wilson, you're doing it with both hands now.
Thank you.